All right. Well, that did not go the way that we wanted that to go. I can tell you that much. But look, I don't want to sound like a broken record, especially if you just saw me on Bleacher Report, but I'm really proud of this team. I really am. I can't stress that enough. I feel really good about what I just witnessed, what I just watched. I'm proud of this team because that was a really gutsy performance by the LA Rams. And I don't care what anyone says. I mean, I don't know what else you could ask for out of this team, how banged up they were. And people will say, well, they had their quarterback. And I'll be like, okay, well, that's great. They had 3 of the 5 offensive linemen in this game were starters in preseason. Doesn't that tell you all you need to know? So I am not going to sit here and sulk and complain. I'm going to tell you, I feel really good about this team moving forward. They actually look better than I thought when I made my 13-4 prediction. They look better. They looked better than I thought. The offense wasn't going to score a ton because they were obviously banged up all over the offensive line, but I still thought they moved the ball very well. I still see Matthew Stafford is... I need another word to describe how much better at quarterback Matthew Stafford is than Jared Goff. He is astronomically better. Like, it's not even close. Absolutely not even close. So, just, again, really proud of this team. Love what I saw from, Sean McVay. And people are going to get on Sean McVay. People are going to complain about Sean McVay and his play call and leaving 9 points on the field. I get that. I do. I actually have notes. I'll be going over my notes through the game, talking a little bit about it. If you guys join me over from Bleacher Report, appreciate that. If you didn't, well, I'm glad you're here at least. Be sure to like, subscribe, stay a little while, maybe grab your favorite beverage. For me, this is water, so I'm definitely going to do that. But one sec. All right, we're good. Yeah, it's a frustrating game. I totally understand why anybody would be frustrated, but I'm not going to sit here and absolutely drag the Rams. I see people are already saying our run defense is terrible. Let me just add some context to that. Okay. Let me just add some context because it's not terrible. The run defense is not the issue. You're asking a very gassed team to defend essentially play another game. I stand by this. This might be like a hot take, but I feel like the Rams might have done the same exact thing if they won the coin toss. The Lions didn't look great either. The Rams were pushing them around on that last offensive drive that they were able to actually drive. So, look, I'm going to go back here. People said they couldn't, the defense can't stop the run, right? Montgomery finished with 17 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. So 5.4 yards per carry. Jahmyr Gibbs averaged 3.6 yards per carry, not great. They had 2 end-around plays that went for 25 yards total. So 25 of their 163 yards on the ground, and they had a 5.3 yards per carry average total. But let's go back and see how much of those came on the final drive of the game. It was 8 plays, 70 yards. Okay, they had 12 that came from Raymond. Then they had 21 off of Montgomery's first run. 9. Then they had a 10-yard pass short right to Gibbs for 10. Then you had 3 yards from Gibbs, 6 from Montgomery, 8 from Montgomery, and 1 from Montgomery. So what I'm saying here is that 60 of those yards, and if we're tallying it up right now, we got 8, 14, 8, 14, then we got 25, right? Or 23. So then with 23 yards, 44 yards. So 44 of Montgomery's, and how many yards did Montgomery have? So 44 of Montgomery's 91 yards came on that final drive when the defense was gassed. So I'm not about to sit here and say, yeah, the Rams just can't stop the run. They stopped it all game. They were great. There's so many people that told me Troy Reader was trash, and I said, look, I think we're going to see Omar Speights, but I think they have something in Troy Reader. They know something about Troy Reader. They're seeing it. Why did we not see Blake Corum? I don't know. That's a really great question. Really great question. I don't have any issue with it if they didn't feel like he was ready, but at the same time, I'd be like, well, why didn't he play preseason? That's a little weird. But yeah, I had no issue with it. Yeah, that's just how I feel, I'm going to get more into it, my notes and everything. Before I do, just want to let you guys know, obviously you see the Prize Picks insignia below. I just want to let you guys know that today's sponsor of this live stream is none other than Prize Picks. And you can actually go up, sign today, and get $50 instantly when you play a $5 lineup. You don't even need to win. You're going to get a $50 bonus. So if you're trying to get in on tomorrow's action, 49ers and Jets, you want to play a little Prize Picks, get your mind off of this game, by all means, you can do that. Just letting you know, throughout the year or throughout the month, Caleb Williams is going to be 1 win on Prize Picks, a 0.5 passing yards. So you'll be able to just choose more, and you'll get that 4 times. Well, 3 more times since it already happened. And when September ends, it's gone. So you can download the app today, use the code JKBogan and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. And yeah, Prize Picks, run your game. So guys, we're going to be doing call-ins. Do not worry. I don't even have Discord opened yet. I will be opening that soon. But do not worry. We'll be doing call-ins. We're going to be here. Okay? I'm going to turn on the fan because we're going to be here a while. There we go. All right. For some reason, my chat bar isn't working, so I'm going to try and keep up with it and whatnot. But yeah, guys, so all in all, I thought just breaking it all down, Stafford played really well. Okay, first off, let's start with Stafford. Stafford went 34 of 49 for 317 yards, a touchdown. He had that interception he definitely wishes he had back. He was sacked twice. Did a lot of sack avoidance, I can tell you that. Did a great job, right? So that is one thing I want to say there, is that Matthew Stafford looked great. Obviously, he had the interception, but he looked as good as advertised, considering what he was dealing with on the offensive line. And then you look at the running backs, and I thought Kyron did as good as he could. The offensive line was giving him nothing in the second half when they were banged up. So I thought Kyron did the best he could. He had a touchdown. I thought he looked pretty good, as a blocker. And then Cooper Kupp, how many times on this channel did I say Cooper Kupp is going to have a great year? I did miss the mark there. I had him getting 150 yards. He fell short of that. But Cooper Kupp went 14 catches for 110 and a touchdown. Okay, he was great tonight. They had no answer for him. Quite the contrary when it comes to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who supposedly is a better wide receiver than Cooper Kupp. He had a whopping 13 yards on 3 catches. You think the Rams had a game plan for him? I think so. So Tyler Johnson, we have to have a talk about Tyler Johnson. That catch and run play was incredible. That was amazing. That's actually a big reason why the Rams flipped this 17-3 vibe, because it looked like the Lions, they had, the injuries going in their favor. They, at that point, they had just scored the long touchdown, 17-3, game's over, whatever. And no idea why I'm now losing my voice. I didn't yell or anything during the game. I'm just kidding. But Tyler Johnson, that 63-yard catch and run was huge. Okay, absolutely huge for him. Colby Parkinson, I thought he looked great. He looked great. He's fluid. He's the guy we're going to see a lot more of, I think. Demarcus Robinson, still clutch as ever, over the middle. He's going to come through, make those catches that you need him to make. I thought Puka Nacua looked great until he got hurt. Little concern there because it was a non-contact injury and he came back. So you have to hope he didn't re-aggravate it. And I don't think it's an ACL because he came back from that, but I wouldn't expect Puka Nacua to play next week. If that's what you're asking, what do you expect here? I wouldn't expect Puka Nacua to play next week, if I'm being honest with you. Davis Allen had one target. He didn't come down with it. Tutu Atwell, I don't really know what the deal is with Atwell. We'll talk about that. Red Boy Legend, thank you so much for the 10. I'm happy about where our team is right now. Watching our games today, Rams are far ahead. Defense got stops. Offense moved the ball. Just missed opportunities that we will make next time. That's how I feel. And thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate you. That's how I feel. I can sit here and be upset because the team they lost to, because, I mean, I have friends that are Lions fans, and they're great, but majority of the fan base has treated me pretty poorly. It's treated my friends pretty poorly, even my family, like doxing my address online type of stuff. But, you know, they can enjoy this game. I have a weird feeling this is not the last time they'll see each other after this one. And I think it's going to be a little bit different the next time out. So, you know, that's what I'll say there. Drew, thank you so much for the 30. Really appreciate that. Got to be proud of this team. Shout out to Bo Limmer, who looks to be the real deal. It was not easy. But yes, absolutely got to be proud of the team. You can't take that for granted. This didn't just happen. You know, this is actually what I want to say. Okay, this didn't just happen in a random 425 or 405 game where hardly anybody was watching, and they were playing against, like, you know, today's Browns, we'll say. I guess we can use the Browns as a meme again because today was pathetic from them. It didn't just happen in a random game. What I'm going to say is this. To do what they did in prime time, on the road, hostile environment, I mean, Sean McVay called it the loudest, you know, thing he'd ever heard last year. I mean, I really do feel like, you know, you can't have any issues with this. You really can't. They absolutely played their heart out. I mean, you can have an issue that the Lions won, but again, I know I sound like a broken record. I'm just really freaking proud of this team. I still can't believe the way they fought back. The Shadow Man guy in the comments section doesn't know anything about ball, apparently, because, you know, he's like, we ran the ball down your throat on the final drive when the defense was gassed. Basically, the Lions won, and obviously give them credit where credit's due. They won the game, right? But they also won a coin toss. And I think it honestly points to a bigger flaw in the whole NFL system, is that really watching one team on the sideline not be able to, you know, not be able to compete and essentially just have to watch and then the game's over. It's like, I mean, having it be different in the Super Bowl is kind of silly, right? So essentially, it's different in the Super Bowl because if a team scores a touchdown, you can match it in the Super Bowl. But in the regular season, when you only have, you know, 17 games, that's when it's, yeah, actually, we're going to do ties. And the overtime rule is terrible. It's flawed, and I'll say that because I really do believe that had the Rams gotten the coin toss, I think the Lions defense was just as gassed. Probably more, because the Rams dominated time possession for the majority of the game. So that's how I feel. Man, we got stuff coming in here. Matthew, thank you so much. Next month with 3 years, Jake, you the man. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate you. Been a member 35 months, MVP member. If you guys want to become a member on the channel, have access to exclusive perks, of course, priority call in, be sure to join. The link is in the description. And yeah, I just, you know, definitely be sure to do that. Looks like I have to change I don't know why the description of this video is talking about Ernest Jones, but it is talking about Ernest Jones for whatever reason. So kind of weird. Not really sure why Ernest Jones is in my description. I just realized that because I was like, oh yeah, link is in the description. And I looked, I'm like, that is a weird looking description. Yeah, let me change that right quick. And then, yeah, let's see here. All right. I'm just going to put, yeah. All right. I am very curious to talk with you guys. It's been a minute. I'm looking forward to the call-ins. Hopefully it all works and everything. You never know with technology. Knowing my luck, it wouldn't work. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, let's see here. I'm trying to get back to the stream. Okay, here we go. For whatever reason, it's not showing the comments now. YouTube is acting up all over the place. I don't know why. I just like lost all my comments. All right. Well, I'm just going to view the video as is. I guess I can't view it normal. Okay. Jacob Hurtado, thank you so much for the $99. Excited for the season, Jake. A lot to love. Loving the content as well. Keep it up, brother. Absolutely will do. We're not going anywhere. I'm not, obviously I haven't slept much, as you guys probably picked up. So, obviously appreciate that. Everyone drop a W in the chat for Jacob. That's quite a lot. Appreciate you guys though, for real. But yeah, I mean, I understand there's going to be critiques and all that. I mean, I cover the New York Yankees as well, and 162 games, I'm always critiquing. I feel like in a game like this isn't your standard NFL game. They were dealt a hugely bad deck. The Lions had every single advantage in the book when you talk about health, when you talk about home field advantage, right? So that's something that I do care about, and that's why I put such a premium on that. Man of Paradox, thank you so much for the $10. As long as Puka's knee is okay, I don't care about anything else. Everything will fall in place. No reason for despair. Yeah, I mean, I think things are going to work out okay. I don't know for sure, but I do. Matthew, thank you so much for the 10. Proud of the team as a whole. Hope we meet them again and a healthier team. Good night, guys. Got to get some shut-eye. Thank you so much, Matthew. I totally understand and appreciate you. Appreciate everybody in here. Let's see here. Wow, we have over 800 people after a loss. This feels like Yankees baseball. It's like I get more views on the Yankees show that I do with Gary that when they lose than I do when they win. It's kind of funny because it's the opposite with football. Normally people are like, I don't even want to watch content, and I get it, right? It's like I don't even want to watch anything. I'm furious at the way that ended, but yeah, it does suck to lose. I hate losing, but I am proud of this team for sure. Craig, thank you for the 5. I like how the Rams fought, but I hated the fact McVay passed on the field goal. I get it. Totally understand. I'm not going to get on McVay, though. I'm definitely not going to get on McVay. I thought the coaching was really good with the deck that he was dealt. And, I mean, to be fair, it's not like the Lions injured players left and right. I mean, there were freak injuries. Let me make that very clear. I'm not using the injuries as an excuse like the Lions caused them. Okay, there were freak injuries, non-contact, which you would rather see other things than non-contact. Yeah, Syndicate, thank you so much. For being here and putting that out there. I thought it was a great game. Truthfully, I really felt like. I also get a chance to say this, which is cool. I like having my own show. But I said it earlier in the pregame, and I was like, I'm not overly impressed with today's, the slate. I didn't think anybody really stood out. I just didn't. And I bring back the Kansas City-Baltimore game, and I'm like, those are two teams I could see playing in the AFC title game. And then I look at the Philadelphia Eagles and Green Bay Packers, and I'm like, those are two teams that feel like they could get to the playoffs and do damage. And I was like, those are probably the 4 best teams that I saw play football so far. And I'm like, I'm wondering if anybody's going to show up on NFL Sunday. And obviously I'm happy NFL Sunday, debut, first game of the year, first NFL Sunday of the year. That's great and all. But I looked and I was like, Buffalo was neck and neck with the Arizona Cardinals. Probably should have lost the game if we're being honest. Arizona had some opportunities there. Either way, tough game. What does it say about Arizona? What does it say about Buffalo? I don't really know. The Bengals lost to the New England Patriots, who people think are terrible. Minnesota destroyed the Giants. Sam Darnold actually looked good, but is it Sam Darnold? Is it the Giants? I mean, who's worse? Who's good? Who's not? Chicago and Tennessee, kind of a crapshoot there. I mean, defense was good on both sides. Offense, not so much. Carolina and New Orleans. Is New Orleans good? Maybe they're good, but they played a horrible football team, it looks like. So I can't really put too much stock into that. Pittsburgh, Atlanta, neither have an offense to speak of in that game. They both have good defenses. Miami barely beat Jacksonville. I'm not high on Jacksonville. Houston and Indy, that could be, I don't know if Indy's that good. I think Houston's that good. I have them making the Super Bowl, of course. The Chargers and Raiders, that didn't look like two teams that are going to be really competing for anything big. And of course, it's only week 1, but rapid reactions, like the only team, like, is Dallas legit? Are the Browns that bad? Like, Tampa Bay, are they really good? I mean, Baker looked awesome. He threw 4 touchdowns. Seattle barely beat Denver with a rookie quarterback who had one of the worst games that a rookie quarterback's ever had in his debut. Like, this is what I'm saying. When you go through, to be fair, when you go through all these games, this is what I mean. The NFL picked the 8, I would say the 8 best teams in the NFL were picked for primetime. Isn't that crazy? The NFL just got it. The 8 best teams in the league were probably, I believe, were picked for primetime. The Rams, the Lions, the Packers, the Eagles, the 49ers, the Jets, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. I would say the Texans belong in that conversation, of course. But if we're going off of week 1, then I would say that is definitely a fair assessment. Now, it's just week 1, so a lot of things can happen, but that was just something I wanted to point out. Steve O'Lee, thank you so much for the 50. Really appreciate that. Means a lot. Means a lot, for real. So I really do appreciate it. I'm not just saying it. Yeah, it's, man. I Stomp Casuals, thank you for the 2. At least we have a good kicker. Yeah, I liked him. I liked him today. I mean, I've always liked I've been high on Cardi. That was the kicker I handpicked. So I wanted to see him have a chance to win the game. Unfortunately, he didn't get that opportunity. Quintana 310, appreciate you. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate the content, Jake, especially on Spotify. Absolutely. This will also be on Spotify. So at any point, if you have to call it a night, I get it. I mean, it's 12:33 here on the East Coast. Some of you guys, a lot of you guys are probably looking at 9:33. A little jealous of you right now. But yeah, if at any point you have to leave, just know that this is all going to be uploaded on audio. So you'll be able to check it out on audio formats, wherever you get podcasts. Hank Woodmore, thank you so much for the 10. Can't stop the run, Jake. They punched us in the mouth up the middle so many times. That's where Ernest would have been roaming, and he wouldn't have been getting ran over like that. Pick before half. I understand your frustration, but I got to say this, and I mean no disrespect to Ernest Jones. No disrespect whatsoever. The guy's a Super Bowl champion. He was great. I think he's one of the better linebackers in the league when he's, fully himself. Something happened. I don't know what, but something happened, and the Rams realized Ernest Jones is not a better linebacker than Troy Reeder or Christian Roseboom. He was last year, but you keep in mind, this is not the New York Yankees where they'll just trot out Alex Verdugo and DJ LeMahieu because they make a lot of money. This is the Rams. They once had a starter in 2017, Mo Alexander. Okay, very excited about him. He lost his job to John Johnson and was cut outright. He was a starter. So people forget about that. They are not afraid to do that. They make decisions. They do things a little bit unorthodox. Some teams don't go that crazy and cut starters in the middle of the season. The Rams do. So when they got rid of Ernest Jones, I was upset like everyone else was because we're like, are you kidding me? How do you get rid of Ernest Jones? I wanted to see him re-signed. Here's the thing. Sean McVay said it best. We reevaluate every year. Everyone has to earn their spot to make the roster. There's no favoritism. We know this. Todd Gurley did so much for this organization. They cut him. Remember that? They cut him. Didn't matter how much money he was making. Clay Matthews, cut. William Hayes, it just wasn't in their plans. They got rid of him. Robert Quinn, they move on from guys. They trade away guys like Allen Robinson. They trade away, they cut Bobby Wagner. Okay? I'm not saying that I always agree with what they do, but you have to give the Rams credit here, because if you were bashing them for trading away Ernest Jones, and I wasn't bashing him for trading away Ernest Jones, I was bashing him for what they got. Okay, I did not like the return. They got nothing for him. But they got nothing for him because there clearly wasn't the interest. And it makes me wonder if, in those joint practices, teams saw, okay, maybe he's not the Ernest Jones that we know. And the reality is, I saw Troy Reeder balling out. I saw Christian Roseboom going sideline to sideline. Guys, that is something we need to talk about. And just know, this channel, I'm going to make it my mission that stuff doesn't go unnoticed, okay? Just because they lost doesn't mean I'm not going to break this game down all week. Don't get me wrong. I'll get you guys ready for the Cardinals game. We'll preview the Cardinals game. I'll keep you guys updated on the injuries. You know that. But I'll tell you right now, guys like Troy Reeder that played their ass off, that are constantly called trash, and people just were like brushing that under the rug now, yes, I'm absolutely going to highlight him. He was fantastic. And you know what's great about this defense? I don't know if it's the scheme or what, but you can't tell me that this defense doesn't look a tick faster than they did last year. They look faster. They look more physical. It has nothing to do with guys like Aaron Donald not being there. Their starting corner who played 18 games for them last year, Akella Witherspoon. It has nothing to do with Jordan. Like, none of those guys, okay? It's not like because you got rid of those guys, that's why they played faster. I think it could be the scheme. They're more aggressive. They don't play that bend, don't break really as much. And keep in mind, bend, don't break is not... We call it the bend, don't break defense last year. Bend, don't break is when they get into the red zone, you get them to kick a field goal and they don't score a touchdown. So you bent enough where they scored, but you didn't break where they gave you, the touchdown. That is bend, don't break. So Troy Reeder, man, I wasn't expecting that. And I said on DTR, I was like, they might know something we don't. Oh, they knew. Troy Reeder showed up and clearly is quicker, faster, more athletic than he's ever been. And you know what? You root for guys like that. You root for hardworking guys. You root for guys who love football. And you know what? Troy Reeder clearly loves football. He cared enough to get himself in that shape to make those plays. That's the reality of it. Jerry, thank you so much for the 5. Really appreciate you. Rams, let's go. Thank you so much for the 5. Where do you think they rank us after we took one of the Super Bowl faves to OT? This defense held the Lions to 3 in the entire half again. Gonna be honest with you, and I mean, this might sound crazy, but I mean, fully healthy, how do you say the Rams aren't at least top 3 and maybe the best team in the league? How could you not say that? If they had Puka Nacua, the game is probably over. If they had Joe Noteboom the way he was playing, it's probably over. How could you not think that this is one of the best teams? That defense should not be that good week 1 of the season without any reps. You have to understand that. You have to understand. There were no preseason reps given out to a Jared Verse. Jared Verse looked like a man. He was the man. He has a really good chance to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Really good. Jared Verse looked better than I expected. And I'm high on Jared Verse. To see week 1, this new offense. So understand this. The offense, the things that they wanted to do, they couldn't do. because they had the injuries. They had 2 of their tackles out, obviously one suspended. Then they had injuries in the game. You're starting 3 out of the 5 offensive linemen who are your starters in preseason. That's number one. And number two, they were supposed to be at this balanced offense, and then they lose Puka Nacua. So they can't run the ball because the offensive line is in shambles, and then they lose their star, their number one receiver last year. Bubby, thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate it. David, thank you so much for the 2. Jake, I'm just happy we competed. What do you think? Yeah. I mean, when they went down 17-3, I was bracing myself for the Bills game all over again. And you know what they did? They didn't turn it into the Bills game. It was not 2022. That is the difference. That's on Sean McVay for learning from those mistakes in the past, being a better head coach. That's on the defense, using a better scheme, being more aggressive. This is, I mean, guys, I understand it's frustrating. I hate that they lost to the Lions. I really do. I mean, apparently revenge just isn't the Rams' strong suit, unless it's the 49ers, because they couldn't get revenge in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and they didn't get it against the Lions. But look, I think the next time will be a little bit different. TJ, I think the Rams are way better than Dallas. I think they are better than Philly. I think they're better than San Francisco, and I think they're better than Green Bay. Keep in mind, they closed that gap considerably against San Francisco, and this team clearly looks better than they did last year. And last year's team was the hottest team at the end of the year. Let's not forget about that. Green Bay, they have a Jordan Love issue. He's injured. Okay? And I really think the Rams are, they match up. This type of defense, you have to understand, teams in the past that matched up well and would pick apart that bend, don't break style, if they continue to play defense like this, understand this. Understand this. If they continue to play defense like this, no one is going to be able to match up well against them. The Lions should have been able to have a field day against them. A field day. And they could not. They shut down Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's one of the best receivers in football. I mean, clamps. Laporta, 45 yards. Gibbs, 34. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 13. Yeah, they gave up a 52-yard explosive to Jamison Williams. That's why he ended up with over 100. And credit to him, he's great. Well, he's supposed to be great. We'll see if he ends up keeping this up. I think he can. But you guys have to understand that this was... We cannot just keep this under wraps. This defense is way better than they're supposed to be this early on in the season. And I didn't think they'd ever be this good this year. I thought they'd be a team that hover around the top 16, and that would be that. And they'd be opportunistic, and they'd force turnovers. They were great. Great. They should have won. I do not blame them for the final. It bothered me. It's hard to watch. You have to understand. You have to be empathetic. These guys were on the field a long time. But also, this is really important here. Okay? Very important. It's week 1, so these guys don't have that conditioning yet to go the distance like that. Remember, it was mentioned on the broadcast? I mean, Chris Collinsworth brought this up. He flat out said, look, fourth quarter, first game of the year, these guys are gassed. Everyone is exhausted. So, yeah, I mean, if the Rams get the coin toss, it's probably a different game, but... You know, I'm not at all upset about this game. This is an entertaining game. It's one of the best games, you know, that we saw this week. So, yeah, I feel great about it. Let's catch up because I saw a lot of stuff come up, and my chat isn't like working well. YouTube kind of always screws me on the chat. I love YouTube. It's changed my life and obviously allowed me to do this for a living, which is like a dream. But sometimes their chat needs to be a little bit better, you know, in working, I guess. Boondy, thank you so much. Appreciate the donation. I'm in love with our new D. Thanks, Jake. Been following you since 2016. Hashtag Rams Down Under. Appreciate you, my friend. McVay was awful on clock management after taking the lead. Should have made them burn all timeouts. I think that's tough. It was a chess match. They were in a tough spot. If he burns all those timeouts, I mean, it wasn't easy because they weren't able to run the ball. That's another thing. They weren't able to run the ball because, you know, the fact is they wanted to run the football, but when you have all these new pieces and guys moving all over the place on the offensive line, there wasn't cohesion. I mean, I saw multiple times the blocking schemes. You had guys blocking into each other. Like, it was really pandemonium. That's why I give the Rams so much credit for overcoming that. I mean, they should not have been able to win this game, and at the same time, they deserve to. That's a crazy thing. Thank you so much for the 5, by the way, Chris. Noah, thank you so much for the 5. Can you please shout out our biggest hater, my wife, Rosalinda? Shout out to the biggest hater, Rosalinda. Thank you for the 4, Noah. Appreciate that. Tyler, appreciate that. Tyler Story, welcome to Hall of Fame. That's awesome. That is awesome. So Hall of Fame is, of course, the 1999 a month level, and that is me gaming with you essentially. So that is cool. We'll be in touch, obviously. You just DM me on social media. We'll work something together. But that, really appreciate that, Tyler. I'm trying to find all the other stuff here. Man, they got a fan funding. Here we go. Okay, that's better. So I'm not seeing everything though, because Tyler, I apologize. The chat is really acting up. Did you gift subs? I totally thought I saw that you gifted subs. I can't really see. Like, I don't know why it's just awful right now. Like, the chat is so jumbled and it's a mess. So if I don't comment, okay, you did. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I thought you did, and I was going to address it, but I couldn't, for whatever reason, I couldn't see it. I don't know why. I don't know what we're doing. Appreciate everyone over on Kick. Appreciate everyone on YouTube. Let's see. Oh, man. You guys are great, though, for real. I mean, it's past midnight here on the East Coast. Ah, okay. Swizzleberry, I see you. Sorry, I didn't recognize your name. Nah, you guys are the GOAT, not me. I'm just here talking football. You guys are in here hanging out, having a good time, donating, supporting the channel, supporting a small creator in myself. You have your actual name. I got you. No, I appreciate that. Definitely looking forward to that gaming sesh, by the way. Man, poor Whittington. Should have had that touchdown. Actually, we're going to do call-ins here in just a sec. I do want to... Okay. So I do want to go over my notes here because I don't know. The Yankees have changed my life. Covering the Yankees, I've completely changed myself as a content creator. I never knew things like what I do now. Note-taking was not a thing. It was all up here. And now, as I've gotten older, I don't remember things as well as I used to. And you guys were clowning on me for it, which rightfully so. I think in my my NFL video, I think I called Kirk Cousins Matt Ryan when I was talking about the Falcons. And then on Bleacher Report, I was talking about Tua, and I said that like the Rams would win against the Dolphins, and I said Tannehill. So I'm just losing it, guys. I'm one step closer to insanity. It's okay. But but yeah, I started making notes anyway because I don't know. I just got into it. And first quarter, here are some, I mean, these are just notes. They're not super professional. This is just how I know them. Roseboom tackle, first drive. Yeah. All right. That tackle on Amon-Ra St. Brown, are we kidding ourselves? That was a huge tackle. St. Brown would take those catches and would turn them into huge gains in the playoff game and in the playoffs. But Roseboom making that tackle was so underrated. It wasn't talked about. It's one of those plays, Alex, it's one of those plays that gets kind of swept under the rug because the game moves on, life goes on. No one's talking about a tackle, shoestring tackle, whatever. That was a great tackle. That was a huge tackle. That could have been a problem if he got through. Byron Young's stunt on the sack. It shows maturation. It shows also this scheme. They weren't letting him stunt. Byron Young on that stunt was incredible, and he was able to get to the quarterback and put Goff on his ass. Loved that. A lot of pistol formation. Obviously, they went a little bit away from that, when the offensive line got hurt. But a lot of pistol. Like a lot of pistol. Matthew Stafford likes the pistol. I don't know. I mean, I know he wants to be in the gun, but they want to keep a running back there. So, it's like going empty, but you have the running back. So that obviously makes sense. It's a little interesting, but it worked for them. I thought the pistol was great. Tyler Johnson sees the field. I couldn't believe I saw Tyler Johnson in the game. This is first quarter. Jake was not even aware of what was going to happen down the stretch in the third quarter. Parkinson role is there. That's what I put in the first quarter notes. You guys know I was a big fan of the Colby Parkinson signing. A lot of people were like, who the hell is that? I'm like, underutilized tight end. He's actually very athletic. We interviewed on DTR, but the reason I really like him is because I think he's fluid. I think he's more like a wide receiver, but he's a good blocker. We saw that today. And I just don't think he was ever utilized correctly in Seattle. And we saw that. He looked really like a smooth mover with the football in his hand, like it was natural to him. So love that. Duke of Earl, thank you so much for the 5. Tough loss. The injuries hurt us. Hopefully everyone will be ready for next Sunday. Let's go Rams. I don't know why that got cut off. Thank you so much. Alpers Cat, thank you for the 2. Glad my Rams fought till the end. No old Yeller. No, I hear you there. Rams defense feels more physical and faster. Can I get, you guys to answer this in the comment section? Just say yeah if you believe, or just say hell yeah if you thought that the Rams defense felt more physical, faster, more explosive. Just put hell yeah if I'm not the only one. So we got a hell. Okay, there we go. We got some hell yeahs. Yeah. The defense looked a lot more quicker to the ball, making plays that they didn't make last year. And how many times that one play where they had, like, the screen was drawn up perfectly for Goff, and I think they threw to, it was Jahmyr Gibbs. How many times have you seen 4 guys ready to tackle like that? A lot of gang tackling. I just don't understand how this is week 1 with a rookie defensive coordinator and all these new guys. And I was told that they're going to be nothing without Aaron Donald. Despite what I said, I was excited for life after Donald, not against him, but excited for it. And I felt like this team would be capable. I didn't think they'd be amazing on the defensive side of the ball. They don't have to be, but I thought they'd be capable. But man, I still can't even believe what I watched. Like, it was so fun to watch this defense today. I actually had a lot of fun watching the defense. A lot of fun. Elpers Cat, thank you so much for the 5. Puka going down doesn't bother me as I trust DeMarcus, Tyler J. The health of O-lines does bother me. Side note, Limmer is a good center. I agree with that. Puka does bother me going down. Okay? Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Like the DeMarcus Robinson, Tyler J thing, I totally understand that. But Puka, I don't want to minimize what he is. Let's see. Kid Cudi, Jake, can you please send a shout out to the loyal Rams fans that showed up at Hollywood Cemetery watch party at 100? Yeah, shout out to the Hollywood Cemetery watch party. the Ramley. I'm glad I was able to see that. Let's see. Some of the comments, I mean, they go out of order and all that jazz, you know how it is. So I just want to make sure I have all the, looks like I got all the man. Oh, Connor, good guy Connor. I didn't get a chance to answer you. Hey Jake, appreciate you making me feel better after that loss. Missed these post-game streams. Loved how the team looked. Only thing is Lions fans rubbing this in our faces and being toxic. I hate. I totally get that. And I want to say not all Lions fans are going to do that. So I would just block and move on when it comes to Lions fans that are going to do that. Not even a waste of your time. If people want to do that, I mean, that's like legitimate. That's dumbassery at the highest level. So I just don't even bother with that. I might reply to a little bit of it because it will get under my skin at times. Like, it depends if I'm flustered. That's another thing. If I get really stressed and I'm doing a lot of work and I get a lot of people texting me at once and I haven't eaten yet and I have like a lot of stuff on my mind and then I see something on Twitter, the human nature in me is going to be like, I'll be triggered, so to speak, by it. So I just, typically try to stay away from it. Obviously, it's gotten the best of me at times. So, I wouldn't worry too much about that. This is going to be a fun season. I think that was confirmed tonight. They didn't give up. This wasn't a 31-10 ball game like what happened, with the Bills. So, Hex Havoc, thank you for the 2. So happy with how our team performed and they improved. Yes, they did. I agree 100%. And it's no knock because I was very high on last year's team. Felt like if, things worked out, they could have won the Super Bowl. I really believe that. I think this year's team can win the Super Bowl. Obviously, I picked them to. And I'm not changing my opinion. Guys, don't forget, there were a lot of injuries in the Super Bowl season. I mean, Andrew Whitworth didn't even play one of the postseason games. Joe Noteboom had to play. Alaric Jackson had to play. So I don't put too much stock in all that. Like, injuries suck, but as long as the injuries aren't affecting your starting quarterback, you have a shot. Matthew Stafford didn't look affected. Like, he still looked like the guy. Despite as bad as the offensive line I thought was going to look and how banged up they were, Stafford still looked great. It's just, yeah. So, I mean, that's how I feel about that. Anyway, going back to the notes, and then we'll do call-ins. Where is it? First quarter. So the physical, great gap fill by Reader. Reader's intelligent, so that's not surprising. He's always been intelligent going back to Penn State. Then he transferred to Delaware. He's always been an intelligent football player. It's why the Rams picked him up. But Reader's gap fill was huge early on in the first quarter. Then Reader had a great PBU on Amon-Ra St. Brown. The coverage was impeccable. How was the coverage that good when Reader just apparently doesn't have any speed? He's slow. He can't do anything. He looked outstanding in coverage on that play. Second quarter notes, Ronnie Rivers getting more looks than Corum, ? Noteboom, great block on Hutchinson, Springs first down cup run. Let's go back to the Ronnie Rivers bit. Ronnie Rivers, it was like, they're like, yeah, let's give him the run. And then they like stopped using him. He had some success. So I think a lot of that came down to the injury on the offensive line. No idea why Corum didn't play. Noteboom, great block on Hutchinson, Springs first down cup. That was great. That was fantastic. Noteboom actually showed some serious promise against a guy like Hutchinson. He's going to lose his battles. Hutchinson is great. He's a great player. But I was really impressed with the way Noteboom hung in there, and I was really bummed when he went down with an injury. That is a significant loss if they lost him. So, hopefully he's going to be okay. Stafford drilled after play, no call. I had an issue with that. I thought they should have called the high-low penalty. Basically, they I forget what they used to call it, where someone would kneel down behind you and then is it tabletopped? That was like a thing in my high school. Someone would kneel down when you're standing there and then someone would push you over and tabletop you. That happened to me like multiple times. I thought that was the dumbest trend ever. But yeah, he got tabletopped essentially. No call. I do have to give him credit. They did give him a call. The refs were so much better than Craig Rolstad. He was an abomination in the playoffs. So I'll take, Adrian, I forget his name, all day over that. Adrian. I had no issue with them going for it on 4th down. That was when I put in the second quarter. I think that made sense. The first time, take the points. I thought the second time, look, you had the play. You got the play. Kupp dropped it. I mean, it wasn't a great throw either, but you had the play. Nopum carted off was another note. That was annoying. Cam Curl saved a touchdown. Now, I understand they ended up scoring anyway, but Cam Curl saving that touchdown showed me a lot of what Cam Curl is going to bring to this team. I already watched him at Washington. Loved his game from afar. But him getting over there and, cutting that out and not allowing that touchdown kind of goes to show you how important he is as kind of that guy that can go sideline to sideline and cut off. Adrian Hill, thank you, can make those plays. So obviously very excited for Cam Curl this season. A lot of misholding calls on the Lions. I thought the young defense that I was told had no chance against the starting Lions offensive line, the number 1 offensive line in football, they would have no chance. Yeah, there were a lot of holding calls. A lot of holding calls that were not called. So again, I'm always going to assume that umpires and referees are going to be flawed. I get it. It's a fast game. The speed of the game, things like that. It's you're human. You're going to miss stuff. But the missed calls on Kobe Turner, I mean, that dude was turning into Gumby and not by his own accord. They kept tugging him every which way. Jared Verse multiple times. Bobby Brown had one that was wicked obvious, and they just didn't really call those. So it was kind of funny seeing some of the holding calls that they called. To be fair, A.J. Arcuri has to be better. The Whittington touchdown, he didn't need to do it. He had the angle. He was good. So, yeah, finally called a late hit on Stafford second quarter. So that same second quarter that he didn't get the call on the tabletop, he gets the call on the late hit. Glad they got that. Verse sacks Jared Goff. That was great. Loved seeing that. Stafford, bad pick. Threw into double coverage in end zone. Yeah, that was tough. I really don't know where he was going with that, truthfully. Stafford, as much as I love him, and I absolutely love him, I defend him like crazy. I think he deserves to be defended. He will always have a boneheaded throw once a game where you're like, I don't even think he knows where he was going with it. So to be fair, that's just, you live with it. Stafford can make every throw in the book. He's the best quarterback by a mile in the NFC. Maybe Dak Prescott, you could argue is close, but has never won a Super Bowl. So, I would say, yeah, I'd say by a mile. I think Stafford, when he's on, there's no one even close in the NFC. But you got to take the good with the bad. And Stafford, every now and then, is going to have one of those bad interceptions. It just happens. So annoying, but it happened. Puka Nacua banged up. Tyler Johnson in there for him. That was my last note of the second quarter. Rams, let's go. Thank you for the 5. Am I the only one who was surprised they went with Tyler Johnson? 2-2 ? Johnson was awesome. Yeah, I was very surprised to see number 18 in there. Very surprised. I think there's definitely a real concern if you're a Tutu Atwell fan that he's going to end up like Van Jefferson and gets traded. I really think there's a legitimate concern that happens. And obviously, if he gets traded, the Rams aren't getting much in return. It's just giving him an opportunity to play somewhere else. But the good news is the Rams, they have a lot of depth all over their wide receiver room. So I'm not too worried about that. It sucks to not see Atwell get playing time. That was one of my biggest gripes of the game. Because I thought they really could have used Atwell's explosiveness. There weren't a ton of explosives, okay? There really weren't in this game for the Rams. Obviously, the Lions had a few, but so that was interesting. But third quarter notes: Troy Reader, huge third down stop. Thought they were dead to rights. The cameraman clearly thought they were too. Then all of a sudden, Reader comes into your living room, and boom, there you go. He gets the huge third down stop. Nacua was ruled out. Avila was ruled out. Then Bo Limmers at center. Trey White got burned by Jamison Williams. I mean, next time, if Trey White has that, he needs to just tackle Jamison Williams. You're already going to get hit with that penalty. Just tackle him. What's up, Ram Elite? Just tackle him, right? And then that's what I would do, because you already got hit with the penalty. If you tackle him there's a chance that you're going to hold him because it's going to be placed at the spot of the foul. If you tackle him, it's not like they just give him a touchdown. So, yeah, I mean, I would definitely like to see Trey White be a little bit better there. But Trey White everyone was great tonight. The secondary was great. I have no issues. None. I mean, 52 of the 121 yards of Jameson Williams came on that double move, and he deserves it. He was great on that play, and Trey White was not. But the Rams secondary that had all of these concerns going in looked really good. Kyron Williams, touchdown run, great block by Tyler Johnson. Yes. So Kyron obviously punched it in. He's pretty reliable. I really wish he got in on the first down before they ended up, the Whittington play gets called a hold or face mask. It was 15 yards that kills the drive, whatever. But Kyron, I love his ability to find the end zone. He's got a nose for it. Tyler Johnson, he blocked his ass off on that play. So shout out to him in the third quarter. Cooper Kupp creating loads of separation. I mean, he just had his way. He was putting these guys on skates. Cooper Kupp, if Matthew Stafford had his starting offensive line, Cooper Kupp would have gone for over 200 in this game, without a doubt. Okay? I mean, really. So, I'll say that. Tyler Johnson had the huge play, the 63-yarder. That was great, the stop and go. And, I mean, that really changed the game. That play right there completely changed the game. A.J. Arcuri face mask nullified Whittington touchdown, like I mentioned. Arcuri blew that game-tying drive. Absolutely, because they had to sell for a field goal instead of going for the touchdown, which they had if he didn't have that. But look, I'll tell you right now, what do you expect? Arcuri wasn't even on the 53-man roster. I saw people saying, how did he make the 53? He didn't. He was a call-up from the practice squad. He was an emergency option, and they had to go to the emergency option. Like, I mean, that's what happened. I mean, you think be honest here. If Havenstein played, do you think Warren McClendon Jr. isn't at left tackle? Arcuri was an emergency option because they already had issues with, Alaric was suspended and Havenstein couldn't play. So that's something to keep in mind. And Havenstein came close to playing, so I would imagine he's back next week. If he's not back, he'll be back for the Niner game. So there's really not all has failed there. Now the fourth quarter, not as many notes. I got really into it, and then I just kind of forgot to take notes. Surgical offense. Tyler Johnson filled in well. Kobe, impressive, incredible, almost int. Yeah. Kobe Durant looked good today, guys. Kobe Durant looked good today. I think a lot of what Sean McVay was saying, if you were paying attention, he kept talking about how excited he was for Kobe Durant, saying he really expects a big year 3. He's talking, Troy Reader and Christian Roseboom have done a great job. They're going to be our starting linebackers. Sean McVay knew. Sean McVay knew. A lot of us doubted him. Sean McVay knew what he was doing. I'm glad they found that. Defense continues to silence the Lions offense. Yeah. The Rams defense was absolutely dominant when it came to the Lions offense. At one point had 130 fewer yards than the Rams. 130 in the fourth quarter. The Rams team that was out without Puka Nacua and was starting 3 of the 5 preseason starters on the offensive line. 130. So, yeah. And then kept Amon-Ra in check. Great punt, Evans. I thought Evans punted really well today. Whittington had a huge special teams tackle, and Roseboom had a great sideline-to-sideline tackle that actually moved some clock, because when he did that, now that was the forearm play. His forearm was still in bounds. So those are my notes. It's just really for me, when I'm writing them, I'm not thinking about making them sentences or anything. So that's what I had there. But now you guys have been waiting, so let's see if we can get some call-ins going because I spent an hour talking. I'm sure you guys obviously want to talk. And let's see what our call-ins look like. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. We got 9 call-ins. And I just want to make sure here. And again, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Like this is awesome because I commit to this obviously after every game, as you know. But you never know what the turnout's going to be after a loss and when it's late at night. And the turnout's been great. I mean, we still have over 700 people in here. So really do appreciate that. Be sure to hit that that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Be sure to also subscribe if you haven't already because I'll be pumping out content like crazy to the point where you might actually get annoyed by it. It's going to be different this year. I always say it, but I really mean it. And I mean, I've always been consistent, but I mean, there's going to be more content than ever before. So that's that. In addition to that, we're also real quick before we do the call-ins. I got 2 favors that I want to ask you guys. I know. I don't want to ask you for anything normally, but I kind of have to. That's just the life of a content creator. 2 favors. Ready for this? Also, I am doing a jersey giveaway, so be sure that you're subscribed. But 2 favors, not haters. I don't need any more haters. I got plenty of those. Everyone, right now, get your podcast app, your favorite podcast app, put it up, and search Jake Ellenbogen Live and subscribe. That's the first thing. Not asking too much. Just, if you can, do that. Amadi, thank you. 2 haters, that's right. So be sure to do that if you haven't already. And let's see here. Also, I want to make sure I have my members. Let's see. So I'll give you a sec to do that. And how many priority call-ins do we have? Because I want to make sure my members are getting the member deal. Okay, so priority call-ins here. We got, so anybody MVP or Hall of Fame would be priority call-in. Now, everybody is going to get a chance to call in tonight. I'm going to make that very clear. I will get to all of you in the Discord. All of you. Not hanging up on any of you. Okay? This won't be every single week. It's not as simple as that. Because there's going to be a lot of people at some point, and it's going to be overwhelming. But I'm going to get to every one of you tonight. I promise. So, with that said, Tyler Story, so Swizzleberry, Hall of Fame. We have MVP Deb Wisniewski. So let's see. Are you guys in here? Well, I know Swizzleberry's in the waiting room, so I see Swizzle. Deb, I don't know if you're here. Boondy, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate you. Broski, I'm waiving Tyler Johnson in all my leagues. Good luck with that. He might get picked up pretty quickly, but appreciate you with the 2. Falco, I see you. I just want to make sure I get to everybody here. Okay. Deb, LA Rams, MVP. Wildman Samurai. I don't know if Wildman Samurai is in the Discord. Like, I don't know what Wildman Samurai's name is in the Discord. Same thing with Anthony. Let me see if I can find this. I should be able to find it. By the way, if anybody wants to join the Discord, because I know people always ask me, hey, why don't you ever talk about the Discord? I do. It's just kind of assumed because we almost have 1,000 people. We have had 1,000 people before, but yeah, there's the Discord link. It's free. I'll never charge anybody to join the Discord ever. To me, that's just insane. Never doing that. So let's see here. Matt is an Nate Hendricks MVP. James MVP. Raphael MVP. P-Train MVP. Aaron Norris. Matthew, I know he just went to bed. The Dark Saver. So yeah, okay. Let's see. So here's what we're going to do with the call-ins. We are going to do 5 minutes each. I'm going to ask you your thoughts on the game. Not going to ask you 20 questions or anything. You just give me your thoughts. I'll give you 5 minutes. I'm going to get everybody 5 minutes to talk. Okay? So if you're trying to do the waiting, you're in the waiting room, whatever, you're trying to join the show, 5 minutes to talk. If you, yeah, keep it clean if you can, because I do have a sponsor on this video. So definitely keep it clean. I mean, if you say anything out of pocket, I will ban you forever. Not that like anybody ever has, but you know. But yeah, keep it clean and we'll have some fun doing this. So I'm going to set this up now. The second favor. So I asked you guys, of course, about the podcast. I know you guys did the podcast stuff and whatnot. The second favor would be to go over to my Kick channel. It's kick.com/JKBogan. Now, I will be doing gaming streams over there at some point, and we'll be ramping that up. But that's not why I'm asking you to follow that. The reason I'm asking you to follow that, and the link is actually pinned in the comment section here. The reason I'm asking you to follow that is because this week, I am going to be breaking down the all 22 of the Rams and Lions game. So if you want to watch the all 22 breakdown, since I'm literally going to get banned essentially, you know, if I were to put that on here, I would get copyright struck, all of that. It's going to be on Kick. So if you want to watch the film breakdowns, the all 22 film breakdowns, go and follow on Kick right now. That link is pinned in the comments on YouTube. If you're on Kick right now, then you already are on Kick, and I don't need to tell you to follow. But definitely go ahead and do that because I'm trying to see you all pull up when I do the all 22. So I see you follow. Appreciate that. Joe's AVI third. Joseph third. God, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's late for me, to be fair. Not really. I stay up pretty late in general, but I don't know. It's a cop-out, I guess. Yeah, it takes like 5 seconds to sign up. It's really not that complicated. So if you do want to get involved, definitely do that. I got you. Can't wait for the film. I can't wait either. This will be the first film breakdown that I've done all year. So yeah, we're going to do film breakdown on Kick. I would do it on YouTube, but I just know that I will get demonetized. And in case you guys are new to this channel, this is my job. I love it. It's a lot of fun. It feels like a hobby, like because it's fun, but it is a lot of work. It is a job. So when you guys do donate, you become members, you watch this video, you're helping me do my career, which I love. So I appreciate you. But I just want to remind people, like, it is still a job. So that's why if things get demonetized, well, that hurts my job, so to speak. Also, want to make an update here, kind of an announcement. I am trying to find a day, and it might be Wednesday. You guys let me know, but it might be Wednesday. I want to find a day to do a JE live scheduled every day like it's a TV show. So you guys can watch and every time, because I am the king of doing abrupt live streams, right? I am the king of doing live streams. Like I just pop up and you're like, oh, Jake's live. Like, oh crap. Well, I appreciate how many people flock to the live stream when I do that. But I'm also well aware that a lot of you would prefer a schedule. So I am planning on finding a day, if that is Wednesday, to do JE live and find a spot that day and do the live streams and have a consistent flow and everything. We're going to have a live stream. The deal, I told you guys, Bleacher Report live stream first. Then we do live stream on YouTube. The reason why this is the reason why you should watch both. They're different types of content. Bleacher Report, a little bit more on the professional side, trying to, rapid react. I'll also repost the Bleacher Report live stream in case you missed it. But trying to rapid react, right? That is the Bleacher Report part. And then when you do YouTube allows me to bring you guys on the show. Allows me to also be a little bit more relaxed, laid back. It's a live stream, right? So yeah. Anyway, you guys have been waiting now for an hour and 11 minutes. I think it's time to finally put on the headphones and bring on some callers. All right, let's see here. Hopefully this works. I haven't tested this out in quite a while. Let's see, Discord. Let's see, call in. We do the Discord thing. Let's see. We're going to try it. Hopefully it works. We're going to go with Swizzleberry here. Hey, can you hear me, Swizzle? All right, I can hear you. Now, I got to get you so they can hear you. Because, of course, things just can't be simple, apparently. You know how it goes, so, I mean, it really do be like that sometimes. Okay, let's see here. How do I get this up? We're going to try and figure this out. There is a chance that maybe it's this. No, that's not it. This, I have my live stream all set up and I don't even see it anymore. It was like a specific way so people could see. Ooh, did I find it? Call in Discord. Yeah, where the hell that is? Okay. Oh, there we go. I just had to. You guys are probably like, how the hell has he pumped out 3,000 videos? Like what? Like this dude doesn't know anything about electronics. Yeah, the freaking technology and all that. All right, cool. So got that up. Now I just have to get the audio to show up. Let's see here. Appreciate everyone who's waiting patiently. Cool. Let's see. Everyone, while we wait, drop your favorite movie in the chat. Input, output. Black hole monitor, Discord monitor. I think it's that. Now try talking. Hmm. See, I literally did sound check for this. Technology hates me, guys. I apologize. Good Lord. I'll check out your movies while I'm doing this. Good Will Hunting. I need to see that. I've heard it's really good. Okay. Black Hole, UMC. Let's try that. Okay. All right. If you're talking, I can't hear you. Okay. You are. I can hear you now. Yeah. No. Good Lord. I love how this is. Oh my God. I literally did the sound check and everything. It's just not working. Like, there's not really much I could do. I guess so. SoCal, appreciate the 20. Rams lost this game due to O-line, which I called weeks beforehand. Also stopped running the ball. And last year's, the Rams beat mid-team, not elite. I'm high on the Rams, but very disappointing loss. No moral victories. That's certainly a way to look at it, SoCal. I agree to an extent, but I do think I felt really good about the way this game went. Like, the way they battled back and everything. Yeah, we got a Donnie Brasco in the comment section. Shout out. I'm trying to figure this out like while I'm reading, so definitely not just like forgetting about you right now. Okay, let's see. First off, let's move this window over here so I could actually see what's going on. Okay, cool. You guys should see my desktop. It's a mess. The desktop is an absolute mess right now. Okay. I'm hoping this works, guys, because I literally tested it and it was working earlier, but maybe we try restart. Try talking again.
Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3.
I think you're coming through.
I hear myself.
Now. There we go. Good Lord.
All right. That worked out.
That took forever. Okay. All right. So I am going to give everyone a good old 5-minute timer. And I'm just going to let you say whatever you want to say. So we are going to... I'm going to hit the start button. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I mean, I've already started the 5-minute timer on my end. So
no, you're good.
The cool thing.
All right, ready?
Is let's start it off.
Awesome.
This was an interesting game. I need to go back and watch the film because one of the things I noticed was depth of target for Goff was ridiculously low. Unbelievable. He was actually the bottom 6 in the league this week.
Oh, wow.
With only really rookie quarterbacks lower than him. Now, Stafford was right there with him at like number 7 or 8th lowest. We can chalk that up to O-line issues and them struggling to figure out what's going on with a change of lineup. But they barely tried to push the ball up the field. And I don't know if it was either the secondary doing their job right, because unfortunately during the normal broadcast, you just don't see the secondary at all. Yeah. Or this was a game of hide the quarterback. So I'd really like to see that, is that we might see a situation once we get the All-22 film. This secondary might have performed way better than we thought we were going to without Darius Williams.
Yeah.
That's really nice. I'm a little more upset after losing Ernest Jones. Just because, back to the statement of like, we didn't really get anything that made us a better team today, and having him would have definitely helped. All the major explosive plays that I was seeing were right over the middle. And I mean, David Montgomery probably had 10 broken tackles, if not more, on that final drive. And we could use someone who's a solid tackler given on this situation. So that's some frustrations, but overall, I think the team looks good. Like we can actually get together a good season. We can have some fun and get in the dance and get ready for a playoff run. I don't think we have really anything to be upset about. This is really solid. Even though it's a loss, this is not anything close to what it was in 2022. I mean, that team crumbled against the Bills.
Oh, yeah.
And this team fought so freaking hard. And the other thing, too, the team swarmed to the ball way better than they have, at least defense, I've seen probably in the last 5 or 6 years. It's just incredible.
That's how I felt.
When someone catches the ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got 2 or 3 people next to a ball carrier. By the time they touch the ball, that's great. That's how you want it to be. But we have a very solid team already at this point, and we're able to. I think we can build on it and go from there. I even listening to they had the post game press conference for McVay, Stafford, Cup, and they sound a little bit of a good pissed off.
Yeah.
So I can see this turning into something really good, and we got a good team to go up against to kind of turn this around against Arizona. We're gonna have a tough time against San Francisco because that's always a tough game no matter what. And hey, we have week 6 bye. This is probably the only time I'm ever gonna say I am so happy we have an early bye week.
I'm with you on that.
So I think this is good. I mean, realistically, the Rams should have won today, but let's be honest. They kind of messed up in a few different areas that we just wish we can get back. I mean, there's that one little play from Stafford to Cup that they're normally on point. They just weren't exactly there on that one play. That should have been a first down. You've got the dropped interception by Kobe Durant, which was a heartbreaker in that moment. And I mean, just a few different plays, or even one different play, we could have been cheering about a victory. So I think we're pretty solid.
No, absolutely. I definitely hear you there. Yeah, I didn't want to take too much of your talking time, so that's why I didn't chime in. You got 30 seconds. Do you want me to rebuttal?
I wrapped it up. If you want to, sure.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I do think, I don't want to give it away because I'm really not supposed to, but I do think that Ernest Jones, they had to move on from that. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Fair.
Yeah, because
that's information fans aren't privy to.
Exactly. So I don't want to say too much there. Just more so, I will say they know what they're doing, and I'll always have my gripe about things here and there, like any fan. But the reality is, I do know what they're doing. I know they know what they're doing is a better way to put it. And
right.
I would not be surprised if they make a big splash, go after like a left tackle or somebody, because I think that, I mean, this team should win the Super Bowl if they have any semblance of health. I think they're that good. And that was how I felt before I saw today's defense. So it's weird. They're 0-1, but I feel like they're like 8-0 right now. That's how I feel about this team. It feels like they're way ahead of schedule. And you know me, I'm more favorable. I have my higher expectations than other people. And I'm willing to be more loud about that, right? I'll put myself out there, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But I have to be honest here. I thought the defense would be top 16, and I think the defense that we saw tonight looked like a top 5 defense, truthfully. And it makes you wonder what they're going to look like when Darius Williams comes back. It makes you wonder what they're going to look like when Jared Verse gets to, have 8 games under his belt, and, Braden Fisk. Yeah. And, Yeah, I think that's the beauty of it, you know. So I really, really like where they're at, and I understand people are upset, but yeah, Swizzle, thank you so much, man. I
Yeah,
really appreciate you,
of
like all
course.
the donations and everything. Like, it means a lot, and it really helps out. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, of course. I mean, thank you for hey, create a nice community for all of us to be able to participate in, and that's helpful. I mean, shoot, during 2022, we needed it.
Yeah, I didn't think me getting tested, you know, how much I want to do this for a living would happen so quickly after a Super Bowl win. But that
Yeah.
tested me, and you know what? It made me a better content creator. I think it made me just better at what I do overall, because I realized in that moment, I was like, yeah, the audience that's going to be around, they're the diehards. The audience that isn't going to be around, they're not the diehards necessarily. They're not the ones that are watching those games. You know, they're not the ones that, you know, were able to really enjoy the Baker Mayfield comeback like it was like a Super Bowl win that year.
I'm so happy I got to actually go to that game. I
Oh,
feel
that's
bad for my
insane.
mom because she's a Raider fan,
Oh, okay.
and I was there with her. So that's like a tough one. Was like, well, I got to be there for one that was great for me, but terrible for you. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah,
No,
those are key ones that you cherish those moments. That was kin to a Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game.
absolutely. So, yeah, no, I wanted to say I really appreciate you, and yeah, I'll be seeing you weekly, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I'm able to log on or anything like that, and we'll be able to talk further from there, and it'll be a fun season. I mean, this 0-1 feels a lot better than Chicago's 1-0.
Yeah, and we're gonna be gaming, so
Oh yeah,
that'll be
eventually we'll figure that out.
yeah, we'll figure that out. But yes, I'm very looking forward to that, and appreciate it. I will. Yeah, I'll see you around, and I'll probably see you for
Sounds
the kick stream when we break down the film. So
Yeah, if I'm available, then I'll definitely jump on that.
sounds good. I still got to plan out when I want to do that, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, you take care, and we'll talk soon.
sounds good. We'll talk to you later.
All right, later.
See ya.
All right, next up, my buddy Jack.
What's good?
How you doing, man? I mean, I understand they lost, and you sound really kind of down, but how are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of how I feel. I mean, I've never been, and I know you were talking about it earlier. Like, there are a lot of people out there who are no moral victories is kind of their thing, and that's kind of how I feel. But you can't deny that this is a very good team. You can't deny that they've showed us like they are willing to be very, very competitive, even when that game looks lost. I cannot tell you how many times, like, the word frustration doesn't even begin to describe how I felt in the first half, seeing all those Twitter notifications coming up, like, Puka's out for the game. Whoever else it was, I'm already forgetting names, like, people that were ruled out for the game with injury. I'm like, are you kidding me? This feels like 2022 all over again. And the fact that they were able to rally together and start really like taking it to the Lions. They're like, this is the team we have. These are the players that we have. We're just gonna have to go out there and ball out, and they did. They really did. But man, does it suck that they couldn't get the job done. It really feels like they could have been able to. If they win that game in like the fourth quarter, if they're able to get that one first down, I mean, I feel like that's kind of all the game came down to, is they didn't run out the clock as much as they probably should have on that last drive they had in the fourth quarter. Obviously not like the last drive when they tried to throw a Hail Mary, but you get what I'm saying. And so we have a good team. I think that's going to be like the number one takeaway. That should be the number one takeaway. I'm just a little frustrated because you never want to start the year 0-1, especially when you play a game like that. But I'm pretty confident they'll bounce back against Arizona.
Oh yeah, no, I think they played the Falcons in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. I actually, Nopum got hurt in week 1 against the Bills, and he ended up being okay for week 2. So we can hope that's what happens, because you get Alaric back week 3. That 49er game. I mean, you flip the narrative. Anybody that's currently upset about all of this. You already know if they beat the 49ers week 3, that changes everything. So,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you wanted to get? I mean, I have you at about 2 minutes, so, I don't want to intrude on your time.
Yeah, I kind of just I don't know. I'm hoping that Puka's okay. Obviously, I know that's been tossed around a little bit in the chat. That would suck if he's out long term, has to go on IR, because it feels like we already have too many guys on IR. That's kind of why it was really frustrating in the first half, because obviously injuries in general are frustrating, but when I, as a fan, have like, the one thing that I've been preaching all offseason is, if this team stays healthy, they are going to the Super Bowl and probably going to win it. And they've been pelted with injuries left and right before week 2. You can understand why it's pretty frustrating, because it feels like that's like the one thing that's getting in their way. But even still, like, I think there were some pretty positive signs that they were able to play as hard as they could and made it as competitive as they did, despite being really shorthanded. It's been talked about Troy Reader already, I'm sure. I loved what I saw out of Troy Reader today. I think that, I like Swizzle mentioned too, like, I don't know if he specifically said this, but I think it's right that some people at first were, I guess, a little bit frustrated to see Ernest Jones go and how that went down, but at the same time, Sean McVay is like the best coach in the league at this point. I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Andy Reid's the only guy who comes close, in my opinion. But if he's going out there and saying, after that move happened, if he's going out there and saying, I'm happy with my football team, we're really happy with the people that we have, I trust him. I mean, I'd run through a brick wall for that guy. So I felt like I just had to kind of remind myself in the back of my head, this guy knows what he is doing. And I think tonight we kind of saw that. I think Troy Reader had a fantastic game, and he kind of proved to people, yeah, I still got it. I still know what I'm doing. So that's going to help long term if he's able to play like that in the future.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Troy Reader was awesome tonight. I don't care what anyone says. I know it's like a meme, but I mean, he was fantastic. Jack, any final thoughts? I mean, I know it's counting down here, but
yeah, I don't think I have too much time left, but yeah, no, that's just kind of how I feel. I'm looking forward to week 2 is all I'll say, because I know that the Rams are gonna come in hot. They're gonna be a little frustrated that they lost that game, and they're gonna want to use that. And Arizona, not a very strong team. I was pretty surprised by some of these week 1 results, like Cincinnati losing. That was a stunner.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was the Patriots winning. I mean, that was bizarre.
Yeah, like I predicted the Bengals to win a lot of games this year, and then I don't know. I wasn't too impressed by some of the rookies that I saw out there today, but a lot of games were pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the Niners and Jets have tomorrow, Monday night.
Yeah, big Jets fan over here. Obviously, you are, and everyone else. So, we'll be rooting hard for the Jets, and hopefully Aaron Rodgers looks like the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I hope he does. I was mad when he got hurt at the beginning of that last Monday night game at the start of last year. Like, as a football fan, I wanted to see what Aaron Rodgers could do with that team. I was pretty bummed out when he got hurt. So
I hear you, man.
Hopefully he stays healthy.
Well, hey, hopefully we can game together soon. There is a new Call of Duty coming out at some point, so I might be gaming a little bit more. Yeah, I played a little bit of it. I was pretty good. So I don't know. I might wait. I might get it when it comes out. I'm not really sure. But I am sure that I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that we get a chance to run it back soon. It's been a little bit. So
yeah, man. I'll be sending you some video from the Starset show on Saturday. So.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, I hope you enjoy that. That's gonna be fun. I think you kind of need that. after today. But
I need that after Kansas and this. It's like, oh man, like
oh no,
yeah, Kansas.
I
This
shouldn't get you going.
And the Yankees lost today too. So, yeah, a lot of none of my sports teams did well this weekend. It is what it is. But the Rams, I'm very proud of. So I'm not going to hold it against them or anything like that. But
listen, there's always next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel very good about next week, regardless of the injuries. I think they can go out there and beat the Cardinals. So, appreciate you, man, and I'll see you soon.
No problem. Take care.
All right, later, my guy.
Later.
Okay, let's bring on. Let's see. I'm just doing a random one here. All right, Falco, how you doing, man?
Yo. How are you doing, Jake?
Good.
It's been a long time since we last spoke. So
yes. How you been?
I've just been doing well.
That's good.
Yeah. Aside from tonight's loss, but
yeah,
it is what it is. Like, we've proved that we are a really good team despite all the injury woes we faced tonight. I think the one thing that surprised me was Troy Reader actually played well tonight. Like, Chris Shula actually figured out how to make Troy Reader tackle.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy.
I know, right? But as a whole, I think the defense played really well. The offense, I get why they haven't played as well, was because of all the offensive line woes. I hope that gets cleaned up next week against Arizona. That's my one hope. And I also hope Puka's okay and Steve Avila's okay and just everyone's okay after that game.
No, I hear you. Yeah.
Also, no one mentioned that Joshua Carty had a good game.
I did.
I mean, he made all these kicks. We have a franchise kicker now, so we don't have to worry about kicker. Thank God.
Yeah, no, that I agree with that.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Like, I thought that Detroit, they I noticed how they tackled, and you might see, and finally you might see this on the All-22. They tackled really low. Like, all of their players were going for the leg.
Oh yeah.
Over tackling from the chest, which is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, that gets really annoying because it's like a lot of the twisting and then helmet to helmet, which happened on the first play of the game. They didn't call it because it sounded cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. So stupid. But as a whole, I get it. We lost, but there were some really good takeaways from this game. Like, who saw Tyler Johnson coming out practically nowhere and having himself a good game?
That was awesome.
Dude, that was.
He was a practice squad guy 16 of the 17 games last year. Played in the 17th game when the backups were in, caught a touchdown, and then now he's playing in week 1. It just goes to show you,
Yeah, just shows how good our receiver depth is, which is why I'm not as concerned when Puka got that injury, was because we have a lot of good receivers. And also Xavier Smith is also on practice squad too.
Exactly.
So if we need to call him up, we can.
And Sam Wiglis.
Sam Wiglis was solid in preseason.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm feeling really good about this team as a whole. I think we still go 13-4 or 12-5, regardless of this game.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, I'm not changing my prediction after week 1, so I'm going to stick by 13-4. But I mean, if they don't get to 13-4, I think the injuries had a lot to do with it. But yeah, I'm very high on this team. That didn't change. I think it only grew today because the defense is way ahead of where I thought it'd be.
I know, right? Like the defense balled out. Okay, keep in mind, Amon-Ra St. Brown had no effect on this game today.
None.
He caught like what three, like was it three like receptions for 31 yards?
Yeah. It was, I don't even think it was that. I think it was like 13 yards. It was something like really
Yeah,
low.
was it? Was it 13 yards, dude?
It was
This off
13 yards. Yep.
this-
3 catches, 13 yards on 6 targets.
Wow. Like that's what I mean. Like that's why I'm so confident against Arizona next week.
Yeah.
Because what does Arizona have? Like Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay, cool. We can lock him up. And then after Marvin Harrison Jr., who, by the way, I didn't think he played that well today. Did he?
Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Yeah.
I think he had 1 catch.
Oh my God. Okay, then we can lock him up.
Yeah, he had
One catch for 4 yards.
1 catch for 4 yards. Yep. That's yeah, I don't actually know, how did the Cardinals score 28 when their leading receiver at 47 yards, their leading rusher at 57, and their leading passer at 162?
It must be because of their run game, right? Like
No.
that's the only other explanation.
I mean, oh yeah,
Well,
I mean, I guess. I don't know. It
Well,
felt kind of weird.
Plus, also Buffalo, I think, is just a highly overrated team. So there's that.
That's fair.
But but as a whole, I think this game showed that we are a legitimate dark horse this year to win it all this year, and that it also showed Detroit's big weakness, which is Goff under pressure.
Yes. Goff under pressure,
So-
he has not changed at all. He is the same quarterback
He
he
has
was with the Rams.
Yep. Exact same quarterback. Which is funny because a lot of people think he improved since leaving the Rams when he didn't.
Yeah. No,
But
absolutely.
that's it from my yapping.
Well,
And then I know there's some people in the waiting room too, so I want to let them have their piece.
well, hey, I don't think I'll have much of an issue getting through everybody if I can stick to the 5-minute thing. We'll see if I can. As you know, I tend to talk a lot.
Yeah.
But it looks like we did a decent job of it. The timer just went off, and it's not like we talked a ton afterwards. So, hey, Falco, appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
Absolutely, and I'll be on Kick later this week for the breakdown. We'll have plenty of stuff on YouTube. I'm gonna have like isolated videos on a lot of the different matchups and what have you. I still want to keep talking about this game. Then probably around Wednesday, Thursday, start moving on to Arizona. But I think this game deserves at least Monday and Tuesday, I think, of attention. So
Fair.
yeah. So all right, man. Well, you take care, and I'll see you soon.
Yep, you take care as well.
All right, later, my friend.
Later.
Okay. Rusty, how we doing?
Hey, what's good, Jake?
How's it going, man? We haven't talked in a while. Hope all is well.
Yep. What a frustrating ending to that. Not gonna lie to you, Jake. This is so frustrating. So many things went well for us, but at the same time, we shot ourselves in the foot. Our Curry, oh my God, don't get me started with him. Hopefully that's the last time I see him, because my God, so many unnecessary penalties by him. But yeah, I give him the benefit of the doubt because Aiden Hutchinson going against that guy is freaking nightmare for anyone. I have to leave here at 13. But yeah, just a lot of good plays and a lot of screws, but I really hate when McVay does that conservative crap with the 2 minutes. He could have easily ran the ball, but I don't know what was his issue with him. Was he pissed at Kyron or Ronnie Rivers or something? But that clock management at the fourth quarter was so horrible. How you have 3 timeouts at the same time, you step out of bounds, and you don't let the clock run. And Detroit was going to use most of their timeouts, but what does McVay do? What does he do? What does he like doing the most? Giving them another shot. And that shot kind of came back to bite us in the ass. I was surprised that that throw by Stafford didn't get picked off because I was worried about that. So other than
Yeah.
that, I think the frustrating part that he always does that. He has the tendency to do that. And hopefully he fixes it, but I'm not sure if he even notices. But yeah, that was the one thing that frustrated me more. And then like I already knew I had that feeling that we're gonna lose because of even my dad knows like when he does that stuff, he doesn't have that killer mentality to go for the instant kill. Because Campbell, you saw what he did. He ran it down your freaking throat. And what does McVay do? Nothing. He just stares in awe like, oh shit, I should have gone for it. And poor Chris Shula, they're gonna blame him for the defense, but it's not all on him. They were gassed. Fourth quarter, they had to be out. They had to save the game. When then what happens? They get the ball to do the stop. McVay has that whole conundrum. Stafford had that whole conundrum, and of course defense had to do the final stop. And then overtime they lost that. And it was just right there. I think that's what it really screwed us over. The injuries didn't help us at all. But hopefully everyone's all right. I was shocked Jonah Jackson stayed healthy because he, as many fans, Rams fans and Lions fans, thought that we kind of screwed up because we paid for him. And I'm happy he stayed healthy. And Bo Limmer, he did a really good job filling in for Avila. Hopefully he's okay. And yeah, I just hope Big Rob's back. And hopefully Nopum's okay. But yeah, and I really grind my gears because he went out once again. And as soon as he went down, everything just went to shit. But on the other side, the defense played amazing. I'm still not like a big reader and Roseboro guy because they lack that speed. But hopefully we get some Spates and Hummel. Just mix it up a bit. But they played pretty well when they had to. But I really hated it when it came to J-Mo. He killed us in the inside every time. And yeah, and the tackling got bad at the end where freaking David Montgomery he was a bat out of hell and just broke off so many tackles. I did like that Jared Verse drove his shoulder into him, knocking him down, which was nice. But pretty happy about the defense. They did have a couple mess ups. I was a little disappointed in Trey White with that penalty, and of course that resulted in the TD. And Kobe Durant, I was so happy when I thought he picked it up, but it went through his hands. But the thing is, Shula knows what he's doing. The defense looks a little better. Like, they're not putting my hairs out. Like, they're doing their assignments. They're playing physically. I'm really liking that. I just hope maybe just gets his shit together and hopefully everyone's okay. Puka's okay. Everyone in the office is okay. But I'm really happy that the people who basically filled in and played their ass off. Tyler Johnson, I was so happy when he got that 69-yard pass. I was like, okay, we're cooking. And yeah, pretty much. I really hate that this is another victory, but at the same time, we still have 17 more games, and I feel like this is just a wake-up call for us to see that a lot of people are counting us out, but at the same time, we're really good on paper. And Jared Verse is probably going to be the defensive rookie of the year. Just saying it right here, right now.
He definitely looked like he could be.
Yeah, he beat Tyler Dicker. He's no scrub. And yeah, I'm just pretty much thinking about that, and I'm just ready for the Cardinals game. And I just hope our online's okay. And what you're told, I remember that video you made. What are you surprised the Rams trade for someone? And I think we're most likely going to trade for LT. Because linebackers, as you said, they might not be the best, but we have a rotation, so it's as you say, McVay and Leslie know what they're doing, and yeah, I feel like we need a little more tackle help. Hopefully we trade for someone and we draft someone. But
yeah,
it's kind of being bad because we cannot be having revolving doors at left tackle, especially that's one of Stanford's most important positions, protecting them.
No, absolutely. Rusty, I really appreciate you, coming on, and it was nice talking with you, and I'll be I'll be seeing you, every week, I would hope. But appreciate you, man.
Well, thank you much, Jake. And let's go beat the Cardinals this Friday. Little Cardinals.
Sounds good, man. You take care.
Yeah, have a good one.
All right. Big Daddy, what's up? It looks so weird because that's literally me.
What's up, Jake?
How we doing? Let's see.
Hey, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Can you hear me, SoCal?
Nothing much, man. Just tuning in.
All right. Well, you got the floor. So,
A second. Let me try to fix my audio. I can
okay.
barely hear you guys.
Do you want me to choose somebody else for now while you try to figure it out?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. I'll hit the timer, and you got 5 minutes. I will not interrupt.
All right, cool. Well, I've been a long time subscriber. Sometimes I catch some heat because I don't call it how it is, but I'm really impressed how the defense played. But the offense kind of stalled out a bit because all offseason they were pointing out how the offense was going to be like top 5, scoring 30 points and whatnot. But I just felt like we didn't beat them last season and we didn't beat them this season. It's kind of like a gut punch,
Oh, absolutely. I get
and
that.
Shula did impress a lot. Defense impressed a lot. What we had, I did notice Fist was being double teamed a lot. A lot of our outside linebackers brought the pressure. I'm not big on Reader, but Reader brought the pressure, and so did Rosemoon. So I just give it up to the defense, but just I know the O-line was decimated, and I was calling it for a while. Like I just thought we weren't going to win this game because the O-line was hurt from the get-go. And then we lost Puka. We didn't establish the run game early. It just kind of leaves a sour taste in my mouth going into the season. I know it's early, but last year I said, well, we didn't really beat none of the elite teams. We beat mid teams, just not elite teams. I just wanted to get your take on this. I know it's early, but don't crucify me. I just want to get your opinion on most of it.
Yeah, so like not being able to beat like elite teams.
Yeah, like we didn't beat the Eagles, we didn't beat the Cowboys, we didn't beat we didn't beat the Lions. We beat the Browns, but look at the Browns now. They were not good. So.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I think the Cowboys game, I don't even think Kyron was available for that game. The Steelers, same thing. I think losing Kyron for like 5 or 6 games, however many they lost him for, I think it was 5, and then they sat him out for week 18. I just kind of feel like that offense wasn't what it was. And I also feel like this year the offense is going to be much better. And this game, they would have been. I mean, I know they only put 20 points up on the board, but, I mean, this offense literally had 387 total yards, despite the fact that they were starting 3 of the 5 of the offensive linemen. They were starters from preseason. So I think I'm not too worried about that. I think it's a great question you bring up. I think it's fair, but I'm not too worried about it. I know the Rams have a schedule ahead of them. They're going to have to play some elite teams. Maybe they're healthy, maybe they're not. We'll see what ends up happening. Cardinals next week, they look like, they could be potentially dangerous based on that Bills game. So if the Rams aren't careful, that could be a problem. The 49ers game is always going to be close. The Bears, I mean, that defense looks like it could cause fits. I think the Rams should win that game, but it could. The Packers game, who knows if Jordan Love's back in time. Then you have a bye, which will come at a great point. The Raiders, I think the Rams should easily win that game based on what I've seen between the two in week one. That's just week one, though. The Vikings, I think that they should be able to take down the Vikings. That's a primetime game. Then you have the Seahawks, in Seattle. Might be a little tough, the defense and everything, but I think they should win that. Dolphins game, I think they should be able to win that. Patriots, I think they should be able to win. Eagles should be really tough. They've had a hard time beating
The
Eagles.
Patriots played really tough against the Bengals.
Yeah,
I was surprised
did.
early. I was like, oh, maybe I might keep my mouth shut before I say easy win for the Rams there.
Yeah, I'm not going to go as far as say any win is easy. I mean, yeah, I hope we all learned our lesson on that, because that no win in the NFL is easy. The Bengals fans probably assumed it was going to be an easy win today against the Patriots. They heard all the things. Oh, Patriots will be picking number 1 overall. Well, that's not what happened now, was it? But
So how our starting offensive line and we're more dominant on the run game. I really think we could have won this game.
agreed.
Overall, I think we got better overall defense, offense, and I was one of the guys that, and I'll go on record that I thought we might not be as good, but Chris Shula really impressed me. Like, there was no bend don't break. It was just pressure, tackle, hard tackling, and I was just really impressed with the defense. And I just think this defense is going to be a lot better than we thought overall. I was kind of disappointed because I didn't see that much of Blake Corum and the run game this year, but maybe that had a bit to do with the offensive line. Really impressed with Kobe Parkinson. I think he's going to ball out more. I know he had a couple drops this first game, but I really do think he'll get in his zone, and I just really had hoped we won this first game, man.
No, I hear you. I totally get it. It's frustrating. I really wish they won this. I feel, I'll say this, to kind of wrap this up, and then I'll get on to, the next two callers. But just watching my Kansas Jayhawks, a team that probably had a path to get to the college football playoff, and now it's going to be really tough, even with the expanded. To see the way they lost was so demoralizing. And I felt so much better, even though the Rams lost. I felt so much better with the Rams because, the Kansas lost because they did things like they tried to get points right before the half, horrible play calling, threw a bubble screen that got picked off, went to the house, changed the momentum of the game, just bad play calling, abandoned the run entirely. What I think a lot of people are failing to understand is the Rams didn't abandon the run for just the hell of it. They abandoned it as soon as those guys got hurt because they knew they couldn't actually run up the gap anymore. Beforehand, guys were doing work up front. Kyron was having no issues. Once the injuries started pouring in, you had guys that never worked together before. So when you're calling these plays and your blocking scheme, is asking you to do this, these guys are running into each other, So it was, I just think, unfortunately, the run game was out of the question when it got to that point. It's why they threw as much as they did in a close game like this, So it's unfortunate, but, it is what it is. But SoCal, appreciate you, man, and I look forward to talking with you next week.
Yeah, so real quick,
Mm-hmm.
I think Fisk and Verse are him. They were putting the pressure on this D line. Like, Fisk was getting double team, Verse was bulldozing people. Like, just I that's all I could ask for. I was happy as a Rams fan as far as the defense, man.
Oh, absolutely.
And just for some people maybe not caught that, but it was really good.
Yeah.
So let's hopefully we can pile up some wins and then get better as a unit, and they can learn from this. But overall, first game, I was happy. No more victories, but yeah, just happy overall. because a lot of still rookies still on this team.
Absolutely. Well, hey, you take care, and I'll see you soon, man.
Catch you later, Jake. Be safe, Rams fans.
All right, take care, man. Mo Mitch, how we doing?
You hear me?
I hear you. How's it going?
Good, brother. Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm gonna set the timer now. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes and say whatever you need to get off your chest about this game.
Yeah, brother. I'm a no moral victory dude. You know, especially in the game of football, man, because the wins and losses count at the end. They do. I mean, the fact that we lost this game, that this could decide home field advantage, whether we got to go back to Detroit or not. But I mean, I had us losing this game, so I'm not too mad. I got us going 3-2 into the bye. I just think this young team needs to gel. Now, do I think the defense showed that they were ahead of schedule by going into Detroit and shutting down, I believe, a top 3 ranked offense from last season, pretty much the whole game? Yeah, I mean, I was impressed by that. I mean, the last drive is the last drive. They were gassed. But what people have to remember is that they were on the field at the end of regulation too, and then got back on the field on overtime. So you're talking about a consecutive 14 between 15 and 20 plays the Rams were on the field for defense. The defense was done. And I told my wife when they got the cone for it, that was probably a game right there. So I'm impressed with Shula, the young defense, versus a guy who plays with violence. Fisk was in the backfield causing. He didn't get a tackle for loss or sack, but he was there. He was almost there, and you could tell these guys are going to grow. Byron Young was on fire. Kobe was playing good. Actually, Rosebone, Reader, like those are a surprise. They showed up, and then the secondary was on lock. I mean, St. Brown disappointed a lot of fantasy players today. At the end of the day, and so did Laporta too. I mean, they shut it down. I knew J-Mo was probably going to break one when I saw that D-Will was out, but it was a double move. Good move by him on Trey White. I'm not mad at that. I had him on fantasy.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, like offense was slow to start, which I expect. Like that's what happens with our offense. Like McVay doesn't play his guys in preseason. Like look at every week 1 of McVay. The offense always kind of starts slow, but then they gear it up in the second half, and that's it. That's what happened last year with Seattle. We started slow, geared up in the second half. That's what happened this game. We started slow, only 3 points, completely outplayed them in the second half. It's just, that last drive, Kyron run out of bounds. We couldn't hold the defensive line to time Stafford. Like that was split second, he would have put the dime on Coop on that drag route. But I mean, man, it sucks to lose. It just sucks to lose.
Absolutely.
You always want to win, especially the Lions. For some reason, the Lions fans, man, they are just trash Stafford for some reason. I just want him to stick it to him. I just really want. It's really for him, but when we lost them last year, I was rooting for them because I was like, all right, it's be cool if Goff gets one. It's fine. Plus, they were playing the 49ers, so we'd all cheering for them. But now it's just like they're kind of like that out of division rival who I believe in. My pick for the NFC Championship is us against them back in Detroit. I really think that's the NFC Championship this year.
So you think the Rams are going to go back to Detroit and play winner goes to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Detroit gets the number 1 seed this year.
I mean,
I think we
they
end
might
up,
have it.
we end up playing. Yeah, they could. I mean, it's either them or probably. I mean, we'll see how San Francisco plays tomorrow. I think they're in for a down year.
We'll see how the Rams play
And
too.
yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah. I know you believe they believe. I know you believe we'll get the 1 seed.
I don't think
I
they
just think
need
it's
it
poetic.
I want to make that clear. I don't think they need it.
Me neither. I think it's just all about getting the dance. And at that point, if we're playing good, and I'll take Stafford over any quarterback in the NFC. And I think that today that proved it with Goff, between him and Goff again. Again, Stafford was the better quarterback.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is actually, that was really kind of the thing that I'll say, is that for the people acting like the Lions are just this well-oiled machine, I was not really overly impressed with their offense. Now, is that more on the Rams defense? I think so. But, yeah, I just wasn't overly impressed. And then their defense, I wasn't impressed with either, because the Rams were able to kind of throw all over them, considering that they had all those issues going on. So a lot of injuries, and they still had no issue kind of spreading the ball over the field. So I don't know. I don't want to call myself a moral victory guy, but I have no issue if you want to take anything good away from this game, because I think I only take good things away from this game. I think when you have that many injuries, you kind of have to throw everything else out of the window. It's not the normal game. That's why I don't look at Sean McVay the same way I would if they were playing a fully healthy team, and it was just like a full length game with no injuries or anything like that, and Sean just made some bad mistakes. I would have been critical. I don't think his mistakes I don't think they were damning. I think they should have won regardless. And I think they were smart. They went for it when they should. They had the
I was not mad about them going for it there. I was like, no, especially last year, you didn't come away with points in the red zone and whatnot. Like, you're trying to send a message here. Like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't want to put your rookie kicker in a bad position. He has to kick a long field goal in that environment. Like, I'm fine with that. Put the ball in the hands of Matthew. And Ken, it was in Cooper's hand. He just, he just didn't come up with it.
No,
it was right in his hands.
Well,
but my little question to you, Jake, is that there was a lack of running the ball, and that all off season we thought that would be like our catalyst of our offense. I know we're going to throw it because we got Matthew Stafford, but was it because the injuries on the O-line, do you think, even a Villa going out, so it's not like you even have those three bodies that you have between what you were thinking with that center guard combo between him, Dotson, and Jackson. But I thought we'd run the ball more because Kyron still looks solid out there behind that patched up O-line. But maybe a couple more runs. But we at the end of every Rams game, I feel like we always say Sean McVay should have ran the ball more. So I'm not completely mad at it either. He didn't have his guys out there that he's been thinking about having all off season.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised. No Blake Corum. Ronnie Rivers averages 8 yards per carry on 2 carries, doesn't get another carry. It was a little weird. Like, there were some weird things. They ran the ball 18 times to Kyron Williams. I think that's pretty good. He only got 50 yards because, when they had those injuries, I just think, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I don't think people realize the run game was halted because of those injuries. Like, these guys genuinely never played with each other, and now they're being asked to do, different things that they normally don't do. And I mean, we saw it, like guys running into each other, and it was just really chaotic blocking wise. So, I do think that's still on. I still think the run game is still going to be really effective. And I mean, I'll say this. I really think that they're going to take advantage of that starting at the 30-yard line new rule. I mean, that felt like they kind of, thrived off that. It felt like they were in the Lions territory quite a bit in this game. So, obviously you want to put up more than 20 points, but over 400 or close to 400 total yards and some, an interception and all that. I mean, I felt really good, all things considered, with this team.
Yeah, we just run the ball more in the red zone like last year, man. That's all.
Oh, yeah, I would have run it.
We'll definitely get those points back in there.
Yeah, I would have run it 4 times with Kyron at the goal line. They actually getting the touchdown. See, that's the issue with that face mask call. That's a 15-yard penalty. That just kills the drive. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and they have to call it. I totally get it. It's absolutely a penalty. But it felt like kind of ridiculous. Like, you know, they have to go back 15 yards when the guy clearly had the touchdown regardless. I don't know. It makes sense, but I also hate it. So, but yeah, man,
Yeah,
I
no,
appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hey, for all over, it's half of the team is 0-1. Half of the league is 0-1.
This is true.
You know, the Bengals lost to the Patriots today. Who had that happening?
Yeah.
And I still have the Bengals winning the AFC. I know they lost to the Patriots today, but they are my AFC pick.
Oh, same here. I'm not worried about them.
Yeah. But all right, brother. I'll see you next week, man.
Sounds good. You take care.
You too, man.
Thank you. All right. We got one more. Phoenix Nash has been waiting patiently. Then I'm ending call-ins and for tonight, not for good. And then we'll wrap up the show and, you know, call it. And I'll have plenty of content throughout the week. And we'll try to get a JE Live scheduled in probably the middle of the week. So I'll get to you guys on that. Yeah. So anyway, Phoenix, you have the floor. How you doing? Good to see you back in the JE Live call-in lounge.
Jake, how's it going, man?
Good, man. I mean, I would have loved it. A win would have made me feel a little bit better. Having 3 straight, you know, sports teams losing of mine sucks, but you know, all things are good aside from that.
Yeah. Well, like I've been listening to the other callers and stuff like that, and I'm not gonna pretty much repeat what everybody is saying because a win would have been good, and you know, to come back, you know, being down and all the injuries and stuff like that, we got to take the positives out of this game. Like the Stafford Cup connection was stronger than ever, you know, in this game. And with Puka being down, I just hope that, you know, it's nothing serious. It was a bummer, but you know, we still have a good, you know, receiving core. So I wasn't too worried like everybody else. The defense played excellent. Chris Shula, you know, that was impressive. You know, I just feel this defense is just going to get stronger week by week. So, it was very impressive against, you know, let's just face it, you know, that's a good Lions team, you know, like it's a really good unit, regardless of the fans and how they are, but it's a good unit. And, you know, I have to agree with Mitch. I would love to see like a rematch of those two again, like a third like round kind of thing with the AFC champion or NFC championship on the line, you know, to go to the Super Bowl. I would love to see that because you know what? Let's just face it. That would be the revenge game. That's the revenge game for Goff is can he win over McVay to go to the Super Bowl? That's the revenge game. Because I'm getting tired of like hearing the whole trade thing. Like, you know, they always put up the, you know, the chart and like, oh, for Stafford, they got this. Look, dude, Lions, you guys are on the map now. You guys got a Super Bowl contending team. You know, we won the Super Bowl. I think the trade was kind of even if you think about it. You know, you have a strong team to get to the Super Bowl. So to be a revenge game for Goff, go to the NFC Championship and we'll meet you there and see if you can win over that. Because if you think about it today, like with all the injuries, with Puka being out, you know, the offense wasn't really going like in the first half. Don't you think that the Lions would have taken advantage of that? Like,
yeah.
Don't you think that they would have like put more up on the scoreboard? This should have been a kind of a blowout if you think about it. Hostile environment, you know, it was loud. We can barely hear. Now it's like why would you let us like tie up the game when you have, when you have like pretty much the whole advantage? You have home court, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
To me, it didn't really seem that impressive on the Lions side. Don't get me wrong, they're good. But for us to come back the second half when you pretty much had the game kind of won, I don't know. That's just I just question that. That's all. But like I said, I'm just seeing the positive of the game. This was a good game regardless. This
Yeah.
was like really good. Like I wasn't mad at it. Yeah, I was frustrated because there were some mistakes that we did, but it's like a learning experience. The face mask, to take off the touchdown, Kitchen's roughness call. That one was kind of a bummer a little bit, you know. Uh, yeah, I didn't understand Kyron going out of bounds though. That one was kind of surprising, but you know, well, all in all, I feel good about this team. I've always felt good about this team. You know, I just wanted like what everybody else wanted, like last year that one really stung. Oh, that game really got me angry and stuff like that. But this one, like, I'm okay with this one because we could have won this one if if things were if everything went right, no injuries, Puka was out there, I think we would have won this game. And and everything would have been good. But the fact that how we performed when all like the world was crumbling down, with the injuries and stuff like that, we still were able to catch up and potentially win this game. Only Matthew Stafford can probably do that.
No,
That's why, like he is the most disrespected QB in the league. That's
I
what
agree
he
with
is.
that.
He is the most disrespected QB in this league. For him to put the team on his back when all the chips are down and like everything is crumbling and all that, to put up a performance like that. Now, would Goff do that if he was back on the Rams?
No.
I don't think so.
Nope.
Honestly, because he would have folded up like a lawn chair, and he almost, you know what, he kind of was like in the second half when we were starting to get to him and stuff like that. I thought we can get in his head a little bit more, but
they definitely got in his head for sure.
Yeah, but you got to give props to their running backs because they're good. Montgomery and Gibbs, and that big play that JMO got, that was cool. Yeah, I was thinking like Laporta and St. Brown was gonna go off, but I'm kind of glad that we held them back. But yeah, man, it's just this is a good squad. Even when the chips are down, it's like they're they could still be in that fight.
Yeah.
So I'm not discrediting this team. I'm not mad at this team. I'm happy for this squad, and I have a feeling we're gonna have another Super Bowl in our grasp pretty soon. So but I would love to see a rematch, with those two again for the NFC Championship. That would be awesome, actually.
I want it too, man. I absolutely want it too.
Because it's just because this round it was just like, okay, I just wanted to get the lick back. That's all. I just want revenge from last year. That's it.
Well, they could have had.
It's like it's.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Well,
no, go ahead.
They could have had revenge and then they got injured, and it like.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
just, I don't want to get into that whole thing with, okay, yeah, they got injured, you're making excuses, but that wasn't a legitimate rematch, obviously. And they still should have won. Yeah. They took it to OT.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing.
Man, it's such a bummer, but
yeah.
But yeah, Phoenix, I appreciate you. I actually saw AZZA pop in, so I said you'd be the last one, but I guess I will stay.
No.
I'll stay for another one. I'm not doing another one. I refuse. But I appreciate you calling in, and we'll talk next week, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me, and let's go get that dub against the Cardinals, man.
Absolutely. You take care, man.
All right. You too. See ya.
All right, later. All right, AZZA, how you doing?
Jake?
How's it going?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Almost done with the first. I think this is the first 2+ hour stream I've had since the NFL draft.
Yeah.
So we're back.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you the floor. Just let you say your piece on the game. I got you on a timer, and
yep.
After you finish, I am wrapping up the show. So take us away.
Thanks, mate. Look, all I can say is, well, I can say more than this, but all I can say is Matthew Stafford is God. Like, what he did in that game against all the injuries, and he still performed. I can't believe this guy isn't talked about as a walking Hall of Famer. The only thing that did tee me off was how he began the game with 3 straight passes. And I'm like, we've got to take it to them and punch them in the teeth. Because we got to protect Stafford, because we're down to our backups at tackle. And if we lose Stafford, that's it. And he copped a few hits, and I was worried about that foot for a while, but hopefully he's all good, and knowing him, he just will walk through it. But we have to protect him at all costs, because as we saw in that game, if we protect him at all costs, he will win us games. And that's what's going to be happening. Now, I agree with your takes on how this defense also is quick, fast, way better than last year. But I think they're missing one thing. They're not stout. They don't have that one rock in the middle. I love Bobby Brown, but they don't have that one guy is like an immovable object. And that's what I think why we lost down. I know we'll run out of, we're tired, but if we had that one rock in the center there, just to stop people from running down our throat, I think we would have won. Now, Troy Reader, I was impressed. Super impressed. Like, I don't care what people say. He did not get taken advantage of. He was actually so many times there to make the tackle and stop a bigger game from happening. The only thing I think he had a bad play was is either coming across against Amon St. Brown or one of the other receivers, and it.
What was that yell in the back?
Oh, that's my dogs. That's the little dogs just running around.
That was great. They must have not really liked what you had to say.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's Loki. He just likes to interrupt everything. Yeah.
It's amazing.
But yeah, I'm coming off watching this game, like, not disheartened. I'm just crossing my fingers that everyone's okay and that we can get through this period of hopefully shit injuries, and then we can be better.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I'm definitely not
But
looking at this game like a failure.
No, it's not that Buffalo game a few years ago where I'm going, oh God. It's actually, oh, okay, yeah. If we can get our line together again, we got something here.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's starting to hurt more that I can't remember his name, but the New England Patriots claimed him that we cut that guard.
Oh yeah, Zach Thomas. That
Zach
hurt.
Thomas. He would have been perfect for today.
Absolutely
perfect. And I'm sitting there kicking, going, damn, what? We knew we had injuries on the O-line. We had suspensions. Why did we cut down to 8? Those extra 2 guys would have helped, which we ended up with a Curie anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
No, I get it, man. I get it. It was a frustrating game. Also, like, an enlightening game. It gave you hope. Because you never know. You never know what your team is going to truly be. Like, you don't know until you see it. And I didn't think that defense was going to be that good this early on. I'm sure they're going to have growing pains. I would push back on anybody saying they had growing pains on that final drive in overtime. They were just tired. I don't even think it was growing pains. I think they were exhausted.
Yeah, I agree. But it's also, we've got to have someone in there that we can rotate and refresh and keep that line fresh. Like I saw they rotated Hoyt in a lot.
Yeah, Neville Gallimore played a little bit today.
Yeah, I like the rotation, but
Tyler Davis got
why don't
in
we
there.
rotate why don't we rotate some more guys in at them when we called that we called for the timeout. It was you could see our guys were breathing hard. Why can we put Amir Spates in? Like the boys, you just gave up 60 yards. We're going to put some ring. Like Spates would have come through that hole and bell rung someone. Anyway, man, but it's not disheartening. We went into the Lions den. We gave away 6 points to my calculations. We should have we shouldn't have been so aggressive. Probably took 2 field goals there. And look, we only lost by 6. So, and they had their whole team basically bar 2 people, I think. So,
yeah,
I'm quite impressed with our Rams this year, man. And all I got to say is we've got to protect number 9.
Absolutely. I mean,
he can't keep getting this hits.
No, and he's older, so eventually that is going to bite back. That is going to go against you. It's not going to be in your favor. So yes, I absolutely agree because at some point you can't just take this stuff for granted. At some point something is going to happen. So,
that's why it was frustrating to see on that opening thing where they just went for 3 passes. I'm like, what are you doing? Run it down their throat.
Yeah.
Who gives a crap if we come off with 3 runs? We need to punch him in the face so it gives Stafford some time to breathe and actually stop going to his first read all the time.
No, I agree with that. I mean, I do think, again, that I mentioned this earlier, I don't think they were really able to run it after all those guys got hurt. Like when Avila went down, that was really it. I feel like that was asking too much.
That was until the late second, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the second half, so the beginning of the second half, maybe, or maybe it was before that. But I wasn't. Yeah, I understood that why we weren't doing our duo runs and that. But at the start of the game, when we had our boys, our big 900-pound middle of the front, why aren't we running down their throat? Oh, I know. I mean, it's tough. I would like to see some quorum in there, but I don't know.
Interesting to see that Ronnie Rivers got in over Corum. I was like, what's going on? And I could see him talking on the sideline. I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why Atwell wasn't utilized. That kind of annoyed me. But, yeah, I think Atwell and Corum should have had more run. I would have liked to see Spates get involved in the defense a little bit. But all in all, I was really impressed throughout, just everybody that played. And Like, it bothers me that they lost to the Lions again, but I kind of had a weird feeling at the same time. Like, well, every time when the Rams, not every time, but when the Rams lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl the first time, they beat New England in the regular season. A lot of people might not remember that. The Titans beat the Rams in the regular season, and then the Rams beat them when it mattered in the Super Bowl. And then you have the 49ers.
Yeah.
And the Rams, they beat the 49ers when it mattered in the playoffs. They lost to them in the regular season. So obviously that's not always the case. We've seen it before. Oh, this team, they lost in the regular season. They're going to win the playoffs, and they get eviscerated again. But this definitely wasn't the full LA Rams of 2024. And I think this team is going to be a lot better and maybe a little different down the line. I do think what we watched tonight was a team that will be active during the trade deadline. That's for sure.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about the Tutu Atwell, I think he wasn't in the game because we couldn't get long developing plays going because that line couldn't protect that long enough. That's the only reason I think Tutu wasn't in the game is because we're not giving him more than 2 seconds in that pocket.
Yeah, there definitely wasn't a lot of time. Stafford did some of the most amazing work dodging sacks and I was really impressed with him overall. But yeah, do you have any final thoughts before I wrap the show?
Where would you go on a trade deadline? Because I was seriously impressed with our cornerbacks, linebackers, defense. I think personally, I would go O-line because if it's going to be like 2021 where they just keep falling like flies, we need something, even as a backup.
Yeah.
To get someone.
I'm going to bring... All right, so let me bring up Spotrac. I want to see the offensive linemen that are going to be available in 2025, and then I'll tell you. Because it is hard to trade for an offensive tackle in this league. Everyone needs offensive line, right? But theoretically, that's what they have to do. I mean, I think they probably should have gone tackle over verse, if I'm being honest with you. Like Tyler Guyton was probably the pick that made sense long term, if I'm being honest. But I lost AZZA. Well, I appreciate you coming on if you don't link up anytime soon. I'm just gonna say my last bit here, but I'm not against the Jared Verse pick at all. I love Jared Verse. Very excited for him. Looks like a Ram. Looks the part. Physical. Looked great. My point is that there was a reason why on this channel I was constantly advocating for going out and getting Fashanu, for going out and getting some of those other tackles, right? So I do have genuine concerns about left tackle. I had those concerns, to be fair, before the season. I've always looked at the left tackle as a weak link, and that's supposed to be the strongest position. Currently, the left tackles available are David Bakhtiari, DJ Humphries, Charles Leno Jr., Dwayne Brown, and Donovan Smith. Those are the guys that are currently available in 2024. If we're looking at 2025, the reason why I look at 2025 is because these guys will be on contract years. So if they're on contract years, then they're more than likely, I wouldn't say more than likely, but more likely for a team to part ways with them. So who would that be? I think if you look at Denver, if Denver has a down year, I think you have to look at Garrett Bowles. We've mentioned him before on this show. Garrett Bowles probably makes the most sense. With the Ravens, they're probably not going to have a down year. They look really good. Ronnie Stanley is a free agent next year. I just don't see him. The Ravens are going to be competing. So I think really the only option from the contract year guys, the only option there, in my opinion, is Garrett Bowles. If the Jets fall off a cliff, Tyron Smith, I guess, at the deadline. Kelvin Beachum, maybe, but I don't know how much that would really help. Cam Robinson with Jacksonville if they fall off a cliff. I mean, I think Garrett Bowles is the best option. So Denver lost today. We'll see how good they are. That quarterback does not look great, Bo Nix, but it's early. But I think Cam Robinson, Garrett Bowles are probably your best chances. Garrett Bowles by far being your best opportunity. If you trade with the Broncos and end up with Bowles at the deadline and you get him to play left tackle, or you try to work him in, you have him for the playoffs, that could really help. As far as who's available right now in 2024, David Bakhtiari, I'd be calling him up, see if he wants to play football, because I think he definitely makes sense. Give Bakhtiari a call. If he's done, then he's done. But he's a talented player. I know he has injury issues and all that. He's a talented player. I don't know if the Rams would be able to pay him what he would want, but he's a talented player. And DJ Humphries, wouldn't be against DJ Humphries either. So I do think they have some options in free agency, some bigger names. These are guys that have started a lot of games. I'm not saying Humphries is the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's not. But there are guys out there where if the Rams have to go in a certain direction and sign a left tackle, Humphries is not horrible. Okay? He had a 97 pass protection efficiency rating last year. He had a 97.9 the year before, 96.1, 98, 97.5, 95, 97.4, 95. His career is 96.7 pass protection efficiency rating. He gave up 4 sacks last year, 28 pressures. Humphries is not a bad player. Okay, so I think that's what I would do. Now, understand this. I'm very well aware of the fact he had no training camp. He would need to learn the offense, all of that. But as we saw, Kevin Dotson had to learn the offense. It took him 3 games, and then he came in game 4. Humphries has only played left tackle in his career. He's only played left tackle. He played a little bit of right tackle in 2016. Actually, a lot of right tackle in 2016. He was the Cardinals left tackle from 2017 to 2023. And his issue is definitely penalties, so he needs to be a little bit more disciplined. But this guy, he's 30 years old. You sign him. I think they need to sign him. I would advocate for them to sign him. He had an elite year in 2020, according to PFF. Last year wasn't amazing, but wasn't a bad year. If we're comparing him, and let's just say we'll compare Alaric Jackson, since Joseph Noteboom doesn't have a sample size, that would really be worth comparing. But let's compare him and Alaric Jackson, right? Last year, Alaric Jackson gave up 1 sack, really good, but 39 pressures, not really good. 28 DJ Humphries gave up. And by the way, DJ Humphries, okay, had 568 pass blocking snaps, and Alaric Jackson had 570. So it's a fair comparison. Jackson didn't give up as many sacks, so to speak, but still way more pressures. 96.2 pass protection efficiency rating. DJ Humphries, 97. Penalties, that's where I would say Alaric Jackson wins there. He didn't really have a lot of penalties. I'm trying to find it. He had 2 last year. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, 2023. He had 3 in 2023. So he's been very disciplined. That's a good thing. But I think Humphries makes a lot of sense. And I'm not saying he's amazing, and he doesn't even have to start. But adding him to the roster would make you a better team. I don't think we can deny that. Jacob Lindholm, I'm sorry I missed Rams Let's Go as well. Thank you for the 5 Rams Let's Go. Remember what happened last time we took a Super Bowl contender to OT and lost. The fire has been lit. Whose house? Appreciate that, Rams Let's Go. And Jacob Lindholm, what are changes needed to better slow the run game? Bettered the slow run game, so make a run game today the Rams had better, or slow down other run games. So I guess changes could be made. I mean, you have to get healthy, I think, up front. They're also playing a really good team, so like the Lions are really good against the run. So being really good against the run playing 3 of the 5 starters from your preseason roster. I mean, I think that had a lot to do with it. As far as the defense, I thought they looked great up until the final drive, which I'm not even putting on them because they were exhausted. So, yeah. In conclusion, I really think DJ Humphries is the move. I don't think they go in any of that direction, but I would definitely give his agent a call. With that said, we have 872 followers on Kick. Please do me a favor and let's see if we can get people to follow that. Kick.com/JKBogan. The link is pinned in the comments section. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm desperately trying to get people to go over there so we have a fun little community when we do the breakdowns. I'm going to be doing all 22 breakdown of the game, the Rams-Lions, later this week, and it's only going to be on kick.com. Because if I do it on YouTube, I'm getting copyright claimed or struck or whatever the hell. So just trying to avoid that. So yeah, please do me a favor. Give that a follow. Takes a few minutes at most. And it's free. So give that a follow. Also, link is in the description, but you can also check on all your podcasts. You can download the Jake Ellenbogen Live podcast, which is essentially this whole, channel. So definitely check that out on all audio formats. But it's been fun, guys. It's been really fun. If you want to continue to follow this channel, if you're new here, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon for me if you haven't already. You'll never miss another episode, live stream. You will get all those notifications hitting your phone. So be sure to hit that bell icon right when you hit subscribe. The bell icon's next to it. Just hit that. You'll get all the notifications. You won't miss a episode. So I appreciate you. I will say real quick also, thank you for the follows over on Kick. I see you. Last thing I'll say is anybody that wants to get involved in the Discord, I'm just going to drop the link. Be sure to hit that link. Check out our Discord. It's free. We have 994 people in it. So definitely check it out. And yeah, that's going to do it. I think, I think I'm sold. I think I want Humphries signed. I don't think it's going to happen. But I want Humphries signed, and, we'll see where the Rams go from here. But, essentially the rest of the week, tomorrow, Downtown Rams. We're going to be recording tomorrow, Downtown Rams. And then Friday, Downtown Rams. So tomorrow will be the recap. Friday will be the preview of the Cardinals game. Tuesday will be NFC West Roundtable at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll be talking about the week and, the next week. So check that out for sure on the NFC West Roundtable channel. If you're a betting fan, D-Generation Bets, you can check us out. Me, Steffi Smalls, and J Tuck. Great people. You can check us out on D-Generation Bets on the Roundtable Sports channel. That's every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. A lot of fun. And then somewhere in between now and Wednesday, I would say, we're going to do a JE Live. Plenty of videos coming your way. Not going to stop doing those. And, yeah, just keep it here for all your Rams content. That's going to do it. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys a ton. The fact that you guys are so committed that, I have over 350 people in here at the end of a live stream that I've gone for almost 3 hours. I don't take that for granted. I don't take that lightly. So really do appreciate you guys. I'll be posting the replay of Bleacher Report. So if you want extra content to bite on, that will come up soon. And we'll have other videos throughout the week. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon. Later, folks.